Hey guys, you ever wonder what that check engine light is trying to tell you? Some people try to cover it up, unplug it, or dismiss it as an unsolved mystery. But with Innova, you could easily identify both the problem and what it takes to fix it, like having a personal mechanic in your pocket. Identifying the problem is easy. Connect your Innova OBD2 diagnostic tool using features like hotkeys and the patented all-in-one display. Scan your vehicle's onboard computers to detect for any malfunctions. By pairing your tool with Innova's all-new Repair Solutions 2 mobile app, you'll now have free access to over 60 million fixed solutions that are verified for accuracy by real ASE certified technicians. Sorry, you're going to have to chop this a little bit. But it doesn't stop there. Repair Solutions 2 is the complete solution. In the app, you'll find troubleshooting information and even be able to order the right parts for the job. And if you still have questions, Innova's USA-based customer support team is always available to help, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time, 6 days a week. Innova tools speak your car's language, so you don't have to. Now, buy Innova tools at all major automotive retailers, Amazon, and Innova.com to find the problem and fix the problem. Now, here's the deal. You got to go to Innova.com to use our discount code. So INNOVA, Innova.com, code TST will get you a 20% discount and free shipping off your order until October 16th. That's code TST, gets you a 20% discount at Innova.com and free shipping on your order until October 16th. Innova Electronics. Find the problem, fix the problem. Guys, you never know when you're going to get a ticket. Even if you're using countermeasures, even if you're running Waze, you could still get nailed. And it might be somewhere far from home. Sure, you might have the lay of the land in your own city, right? Maybe you've got your own personal lawyer. What if you get nabbed out of state? What if you get nabbed 500 miles from your house, place you've never been? Offtherecord.com/TST, guys. You could fight all your traffic tickets. You should always fight your traffic tickets. Traffic tickets are an entire economic system in which municipalities and insurance companies bilk you out of money. It's not about safety. It's about revenue, guys. So always fight your tickets and use offtherecord.com/TST or use code TST10 on the Off the Record app. If you get the app on iOS and Android, that'll get you 10% off their legal services. Off the Record has a 97% success rate getting these tickets off your record. Our homie David Patterson, that dude in blue, got a big one on adventure drives. A really big one. I hooked him up with Off the Record. Handled, no points, no problem. It didn't disappear entirely. Didn't totally vanish, but no points, basic fine, moving on. It's exactly how you want it.
Yes.
And so offtherecord.com/TST or code TST10 on the Off the Record app. That'll get you 10% off all legal fees. And you should save that code now because it's good until May of 2023. So you never know when you're going to need it. So make the account now, whatever, save it. And that way when you get pulled over, just be like, this is no problem. I got Off the Record in my pocket, ready to go. And lastly, guys, we are looking for cars, tuner cars specifically, for the West Coast regional of our new show, Sorted, brought to you by Autotempest.com. Me, Rob Ferretti, Amelia Hartford, Tanner Faust are testing your tuner cars, the best tuner cars in the country, the best we can find anyway, the best that are being submitted at sortedornot.com. Zach, why does that video look like I'm eating a hamburger? I don't know. It does, though.
It's called promo draft.
At sortedornot.com, you will learn how to enter, who's going, who's involved, the whole deal. The West Coast Regional is going to be October 13th and 14th in Palm Springs at Chuckawalla Valley Raceway. And so you learn everything you need to know at sortedornot.com. And it's going to be really fun. The East Coast Regional went super well. We're really, really excited about it. And so go to sortedornot.com. That show is, I can't thank Auto Tempest enough. Auto Tempest, all the cars, one place. Alrighty, folks, on this episode of the show, two of my favorite favorite people. Lyn Woodward and Emme Hall are in studio. They are automotive journalists, off-roaders, racers, and car culture-ists, extraordinarists. And they are doing the Rebelle Rally, which is an all-women's navigational rally. And we've heard about this event before. It's really, really interesting. And these two are kicking ass in studio together, even though they are competing against each other in that Rebelle Rally. This is a fun one. I had a great time recording it. Emme Hall and Lyn Woodward on the Smoking Tire Podcast. L'chaim.
Oh, hi.
Oh, L'chaim. Happy Sunday.
L'chaim.
Hi.
L'chaim in the middle of the high holidays. You have Diet Dr. Pepper. I have whiskey, and we have the same reaction.
It's so good. I'm not addicted. I don't have a problem. It's fine.
How many
This
of those
is
are we doing
actually
a day?
an intervention.
I think this one, well, I have to ration right now because there's a Dr. Pepper shortage. So I think this one is like my third.
Wait, but I want to hear about that. But Lyn, are you okay? What do you want to do? What do we need here? Let Jay help you.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Is that okay?
That's so much better.
As long as
All
you're
right.
comfortable.
I'm
we
so
can hear you,
comfortable
though.
now.
Okay.
Yes, this is marvelous. I'm going to put my phone away.
You have, I mean, now the microphone is good, and you have a kimono.
You know what? It's Sunday, man. This is my relaxy clothes.
You know what? I'm not actually mad. I'm jealous.
You don't have a kimono? We could make that happen.
We could.
This show could really benefit from a coat rack and a Mr. Rogers style kimono change.
I think if you get the right footwear as well, like then it's really just
Well, I
all
already
about
have to do that with the Lamborghini. I already have to, I get out, I have to take my shoes off, I have to do the whole thing.
I love it.
Yeah.
Isn't that good?
Feet? How do your feet fit in that car?
Without shoes, fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, without shoes is barefoot is the way to go in
Yeah.
that car.
What size are your feet? Like 12?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's-
drove that car. I had no problem. I had
Lyn,
little itty bitty feet.
drove it for a story in automobile.
Oh, that's
before
right.
I bought it, when it
real
was
one,
David's car.
The oldie timey one.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Oldie-timey.
I don't know a lot about
That's what I call
Lamborghinis.
it, too.
It's the oldie timey one.
The oldie timey Lambo.
They go,
Yeah.
what do you have? I go, well, it's an oldie timey
oh,
Lamborghini.
I know exactly what model year that is.
It's at the Peterson right now.
It is.
The Peterson. Jay, can you go on the Peterson's website and see if they have a confirmed reopening date?
horrible.
It's at the Peterson because they're doing a supercars exhibit, and they're reopening like soon, but don't know exactly when. But bring the car down now because we need to be ready.
That's
awesome.
exciting. But
Even
then
the
you don't
car
get
is
to
doing
drive
a
it.
Hollywood hurry up and wait. Get it over here right now so I can stage it and it can sit there for a month.
You're right next to that big new Darth Vader building, so you're right. Isn't the Peterson?
What? Isn't the Peterson the Darth Vader building?
No, they're building that like the movie the motion picture like movie place, and it looks like the Death Star.
Oh.
I don't know.
I
Oh
don't know what
man,
you're
like
talking
you haven't
about.
seen that building?
You know what? Since the pandemic, I haven't left Venice much, except to go.
You come here and you go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, what am I going to do in mid city? There's
nothing, right?
no
There's nothing to
restaurants.
do.
There's nothing. We're going back. We're starting to go back to restaurants. After talking to Guy Fieri on the podcast, he came on. He was great.
Yeah.
And he really convinced me that I need to start going to restaurants more now.
I'm fine if everything's outside.
Yeah, no.
My
I'm
rule
talking
is
about that.
outside with 10 people or less. And
Except
I'm
get
solid.
this, I got a gig this week in Florida. We're doing the show Sorted, brought to you by Auto Tempest. Me and Rob Ferretti, Amelia Hartford, and Tanner Faust. It's going to be very fun.
Wow.
Are you
And
going to fly, though?
I'm going to fly. Flying doesn't bother me.
Okay.
No, flying is probably the
I
safest
got
thing
I got
you
the
can
mask.
do.
Really?
I got the mask. I got the glasses. I'm okay with that. And I got a business class ticket. And JetBlue is only selling out. It's like
Right,
half
right,
of those.
right.
So I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
all right, I'm okay, fine.
Okay.
But it's Florida, and fucking DeSantis announced full open restaurants
Yeah.
and bars yesterday, and I'm like, uh-oh.
I don't want to go
You're
over
gonna
to any
need
of
one
that.
of those like face shields.
I'm gonna need a fucking hazmat suit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy. Fortunately, we're
Yeah.
not going to Miami.
Have you seen
that's
those
good.
like little helmets? They're like AirPod helmet things. It's like a full-on astronaut helmet
Yeah,
that
yeah.
goes over, and then there's like some kind of way to get fresh air in. It's pretty remarkable.
It looks like a butt plug on your head. Actually, it's very butt plug like.
Well, we know what's on Matt's mind.
I don't know what one of those looks like.
It wasn't until you started making the shape. When you mimed the shape, I was like, huh. What does that look like?
International sign for butt plug.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's right.
I started with Beldar Conehead, and then, I
You know it's Sunday and there's whiskey, so go there.
I had like a
Plugs on
sip,
Sunday.
though.
And the kimonos.
She was drinking Dr. Pepper. That's why she
Diet.
made the butt plug
Diet.
motion.
It's true. Diet Dr. Pepper.
It's diet. It's
and
not regular.
kimonos.
Peterson
Anyway.
does not have any news, by the way, on
They
their
don't?
website now.
God
Just
damn it.
temporarily closed.
All right. I'll have to call somebody.
I couldn't find it in the news either.
Car's
so.
doing a lot of sitting over there, though. It's unfortunate.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
I
It's
would
okay.
have thought that you would have driven that to the cars and thingy and this morning. No.
This morning, I had a hiking day with Hannah. And we drove the van and went on a hike, and it was very nice.
How
That's
is
nice.
the Delica?
Yeah.
How is
which
it?
everybody loves. Everyone loves the Delica.
If they don't, they should move.
Hannah is like so happy to be driving a weird car that makes people smile.
That's awesome.
Although I went to look at a car this morning.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what it is because we've learned our lessons about that. We'll tell you off the show later.
Okay.
But Hannah came to join me, and the person who was selling this vehicle also had a collection of Messerschmitts.
Oh.
Like the Cousin It cars, the
Yeah,
micro
yeah.
cars that
Whoa.
look like
Yeah.
torpedoes from planes or something.
Like a
with
butt plug on its
Yeah,
side.
I was going to say those
With the
sea
callback, that was
sea
good.
creatures that
was
live at
very
the
good.
bottom of the ocean, but sure.
Yeah, they kind of look crustacean-y.
Yeah.
And they don't have proper round steering wheels. They have what look like bicycle handlebars, but turned down.
Yeah.
Like
So
a big
you drive,
handle.
but you still drive like this?
Yes, but I don't know if you can go full hand over hand with
Right,
it.
right, right. That's
It's
But
more like a Knight Rider wheel,
I don't
right?
know that the
And
wheels-
the dude
I
said
don't
this
know
thing
that the
does
wheels
90
do
miles an
that.
hour. And yes,
Dun-dun,
Knight Rider
dun-dun,
wheel
dun-dun.
is... Think
Dun-dun.
upside down Knight Rider.
Yeah, like
Knight
old
Rider
school
was like a
lawnmower
W, and this is like an M.
Yeah, there you go.
I
That's
have to say, I
bizarre.
think taking that thing 90 miles an hour would be so scary.
That's what I told this dude.
Yeah, the whole front end's just got to
Yeah.
be blah, 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 blah.
And then he proceeds to pull up a video of a guy that's like takes one on the Nürburgring. There's some guy in the Black Forest who's just like by himself, fucking huffing glue and drinking
Yeah.
absinthe.
He's like, I
and
do
going,
that. Yes, I do that.
Messerschmitt's Nürburgring Meister.
But that is not the car you were looking at. He just had a... Okay.
Allegedly. We
Yeah.
don't know.
No,
Right,
that's
right,
not
right.
the car I was looking at, but it's now the car I have to buy my wife for her birthday.
You can buy two. They're so little.
They're expensive, though.
Really?
Yeah, if you buy them by the pound, yeah, it's a very dollars to pound ratio. It's very heavy.
Nice.
You guys are deserting it up again?
Yes.
We are.
Yes.
We're
Did you
getting
even
ready.
introduce us, though?
Huh?
No.
No, but I do that at home.
Oh, you do it at home.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, at home I'll be like, and on this episode, yeah. You
all
don't have
right.
to- we dive bomb in.
Okay,
it's
good.
cool. And also, like, your names and descriptions will be in the title.
It better be.
They click on it.
It's
They see it and they
EMME.
click. Yeah, yeah.
H-A-L-L.
Yes.
L-Y-N, only one N.
I know.
He knows this.
Oh,
hi, there we are.
Both of
We're
y'all
hi.
have been here before. Yeah. So in
I have
the
not.
new studio, that's the live feed show.
Oh, nice.
You guys, the lighting in here is
No, but weren't you on the show? You were on the show before.
the lighting in
Never?
here is great.
This is your first time?
This is my first
I could
time.
no, it's not right. I could swear you've been in the old studio before.
No.
No?
No,
No,
I asked
dude.
her. I was like, "Have you ever been
Really?
on the show?" And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "Well, then
Oh.
you have to come down and we'll
I
do
didn't
this
realize you were
Yeah.
a virgin. I'm sorry.
Virgin.
Like a virgin.
Hey! Talk about it first
Yeah.
time.
And then it got weird. No,
Yes.
I didn't realize it was your first time. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Well, yeah.
That's okay. I mean,
and here
I
you are in
ex-
the good studio too.
I expected nothing less than this, so.
This is
Lynn
so
had
beautiful.
Well, because she was in the old studio.
Yes.
So you know the difference.
There's a big difference. There's like a lake in the middle of the table, which is absolutely beautiful. I love that. Was that like shaped after Lake Powell, or was that just like a random?
No, you just fill the live
with,
raw.
like-
It's the raw slab, and then you just fill all the cracks in it with the resin, and it just naturally looks like a lake.
It's beautiful.
It's cool, right? Mickey Iwasaki, Sunset Projects, San Diego.
I dig it hard.
Yeah.
This is great. The lighting is good. There's padding on the walls for either
So I
good
can bounce
sound
off
It's
of
or
made of
you've gone
it's made of
crazy.
recycled water bottles. My brother-in-law
perfect.
makes that stuff.
I've always wondered what they do with those things. Now I know, and I feel really
this,
good.
and it looks really good. And Jay
Yeah.
Ryan did the lighting.
Jay,
So-
thanks, well, then
Jay?
it's a good thing I just told you that the lighting is good in here.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I loved
No,
it. I loved
yeah,
it.
Jay Ryan is our lighting and sound engineer.
fantastic.
And made the shit look good.
You must be so
You guys
happy.
look great.
Do you
This
must-
is the best women have ever looked in a Smoking Tire studio.
You're welcome. I think it's because of the women that
Yes,
are here today.
that too.
Obviously,
Yes.
obviously.
No, but
high
I was like, we're gonna have good lighting so we can actually have women guests.
That was
on the
one of
show.
your. That was literally one of his stipulations.
Well,
It's
and
nice.
dudes.
I don't-
I mean,
I
don't
dudes
give a
need to look
no
good,
joke.
too.
Look.
But you should. I mean, overhead lighting is not
It's
good.
not good.
Like we know
No,
this.
no.
And
Yeah.
neither is this.
Yeah.
Oh
neither
yeah.
is this.
Oh yeah, I did. We got rid of the
terrible.
Halloween under chin light. We thought originally. I was like, I really am gonna go for a ghost story effect on my side of the table.
Oh, I've got to find those episodes. I have to see this.
So exciting.
No, I'm sorry this is your first time. I would have done it like now that I know, when I go home and record the intro.
Oh, great.
I'm going to fucking.
Honestly, I feel like Emmy Hall could do like an episode and a half just by herself.
Emmy's extremely legit.
So legit.
Massive off-roading
but
credibility.
So much fun, and you have so many interesting, good
Keep
stories.
talking.
And she got to watch me drive that Jetta 211 miles an hour, and she goes, now I have a number to beat. And she went out there
But
like
I didn't,
right
though.
after.
I didn't. I got to 209.
I thought you got to 213 or 14.
No, you were higher than me.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
thought you beat me.
No.
Who
'Cause
went out?
remember,
Who
I
went
had-
out third and beat both of us? Somebody else was there.
Was it that German guy?
The German
It
guy.
was that German
It was
dude
the German
who was
guy.
like, ladies can't drive or something?
Here's how your
He also
memory
drove
fucks you up. I had that
Messerschmitts on
backwards.
the,
I had
the
you
Nürburgring.
beating me in my memory.
I mean, yes, I totally beat you.
I'd be a
No.
terrible witness in a court of law. I told that shit backwards.
That's
I remember I had that terrible launch. I
Oh, yeah.
launched it in second gear for some unknown reason. And I was like, well, this is what my race Volkswagen does when I take off the line. It's like drives like shit. So obviously I just keep your foot into it. And then finally it like took off. And I'm like, oh, I'm actually in second gear, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, you went to pull it back and you go, it's back.
We're already there. Okay, that's fine. Let's just keep going.
I feel like we skipped over the important part. Did someone say in a Jetta? Over 200 miles an hour
Yeah.
in a Jetta?
It was this giant blown like turbo. I don't know how much. The turbo had like 30 pounds of 50 pounds of
Holy
boost or something.
crap.
Was it?
I mean, actually, it was. So it was a Jetta.
Yeah, with the
Volkswagen
2-liter
Jetta,
like
2-liter
a sedan,
engine.
four-door.
sedan.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it had the GTI. It was the GLI engine, so it has the GTI
Right,
engine.
so that
2-liter.
makes it to go 200 miles.
But actually, other than the biggest intercooler I'd ever seen, which took
Right.
the entire passenger compartment up, it actually was not that complex of an engine.
Yeah.
It was a big turbo. It had forged internals.
So they just add gobs of power.
And it had
Yeah.
it had a Quaife limited slip differential, and it was re-geared, but fundamentally stock architecture.
Suspension, though.
No,
yeah,
yeah,
but
no,
you're
no,
on
it
the
had-
flat.
I
But
think
you're on
they
the
were
flat.
Oh, I see.
so
Okay, sure,
yeah.
sure.
Didn't
This was
really-
out in the so I
This
got
is
you.
Bonneville.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So they
of
had like
course.
the special tires on it, and the special wheel covers, and all that stuff
Yeah.
for aero. And then they had to stop. You had to pull the chute, and you're like, oh my
which
god,
was
who's
by
gonna-
far the best part.
yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool
I
because
don't
you
even
think
think I would have flown out there if the thing didn't have a chute. If
Right?
it didn't have a chute, I'd be like, we want you to come judge. Do I get to pull a parachute? Yes, you do. Okay, I'll be there. That was fun.
I remember that. And I remember the first, like, we got to do a warm up, and I'm like, well, I bet in my warm up, I'll probably just do like 150 miles an hour. Like, I don't know. And then it's like 185. I'm like, oh, well, this feels fine. I'm fine. Like, it was amazing
Yeah.
how easy it was to
It
do
didn't
that.
feel like anything until about 205.
Yeah.
And then it started to just move just enough where you go, okay, don't correct too much. It
Yeah,
wasn't even
yeah.
like it was scary, but it was just like, all right, now I need to pay attention.
Right.
Up to like 190, it was like
Yeah, and you couldn't tell how fast you were going because the mountains were so far away. So you had no frame of reference, and you're just like out on this big giant salt flat, and you don't know. You know, you
That's
just,
how
there's-
that's totally how I felt in the elevator here.
Oh yeah.
Feel the elevator going up to any of the floors. It is smooth like butter.
You know what I say
Or-
in my promotional materials? I say that the city made us put in an elevator, but they didn't make us put in such a nice elevator.
Yes.
And you do have choices in the matter. You
Well,
can
listen,
get a
yeah.
variety of elevators, and
Oh,
we
I'm
went
sure
for
there's
broke.
one that you can go.
The one where you have to close the gate
Yes.
yourself and shit. Yeah.
No, this one is a top-notch elevator. So kudos,
We just
dude.
stayed. I love my friend Doug owns a place called the Snake River Lodge in Jackson Hole. It's like an old school
I've
place.
been there.
You been there?
I have.
It's awesome. It was really, really
Very
charming.
good.
Very old school. And it has I guess the first elevator in Jackson Hole. Okay. You had to walk up 6 steps to get to
Upstairs.
the elevator. Like you still have to walk up steps.
And then you have to like do this little thing.
Yeah,
like,
the whole
inside-
shit. Yeah. Open the inside door, the outside door,
Right,
the
right,
the
right.
whole shit. Yeah,
And then
yeah.
it goes ring, 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 ring. Yeah.
Oh no, you don't have to like you don't have to spool it up. No.
There's a
No,
guy
but it's
there in a
just
weird
one
hat.
it's
that's like,
one
"Which floor,
evolution
please?"
past that.
Hello,
right?
Mabel.
Yeah.
There's a man in a hat who's like, "Which
Right.
floor, please?"
Yeah.
Did you know they still have elevator operators in New York?
They should.
That's tradition. For the same reason Ferrari still makes front engine V12s. It's pure
Yes,
tradition.
I
There's
agree.
almost no function anymore.
I'm on board with that. I want that in my abode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want
An
a
elevator
doorman.
operator?
I want a doorman. We don't have an elevator, but if I did, I'd want that guy.
Yeah.
You want a guy to talk to in that elevator?
Well, no, actually.
Or a woman,
Yeah,
excuse
maybe
me.
not.
I don't know why I
No,
always see that as being. Well, I know why it's always a man. If it's a woman, it's just that seems like just a recipe for disaster. If I'm honest,
It's a Vanna White position. Right?
I don't
Just
want to
pushing
be.
the buttons.
That's right.
I'm talking on a
Which
pure
floor?
opportunities for violence to happen situation.
I see
It
what
seems
you're saying.
like.
I
Oh,
see
yeah,
what
yeah,
you're
Safety.
saying. Yeah.
Do I
Yeah.
safety?
Yeah.
I feel like I have really dug a hole for myself with two
Well,
women here.
I think
When I was
unless
trying to be nice and supportive, and I feel like it's gone
no,
wrong.
I know, but I know what you're saying. Like I was talking to somebody yesterday. When I get into an elevator with like one other dude, like
Right.
I'm always on my
Right.
wares.
Now, what if that was your job?
Nah, yeah.
See what I'm saying?
pass.
So it'd have to be an armed woman.
Or it would have to be at a department store where I'm like, would you like to go to the unmentionables floor? Like that would be, I'd be okay with that because there'd be a lot of people there. That's super old school.
I would never do it except at a Saks.
or a Bloomingdale's. I mean, you know.
Anyway,
There's not women on your
There
show
isn't?
right now. I don't know.
Hmm?
So weird.
No, is this a
There
podcast
should
about
be
cars
more.
or elevators?
Yeah.
you know what happens? It's really weird. The first half of the show almost is
It's just
never
shooting the
about
shit?
cars.
Yeah.
And then we usually pivot there eventually.
I like shooting the shit with you guys. It's fun.
Thanks.
I haven't seen Lyn in a long time. And I haven't seen you since the Bonneville
Since
Salt
then.
Flats. Yeah.
That was last year.
Whoa.
That was a year ago.
At least.
Yeah. It was last
Has it really
summer.
been? Well, you're always up in the Northern California area.
I know. I
You
gotta
need
get
to
down
move
here.
down here, girl.
I know. I was looking at apartments today on Craigslist just to like see, and I'm like, can't afford that. Can't afford that. Can't afford
I
that.
thought COVID drove so many people away.
It
that now
really
there's this-
is. That's
no?
some fake news.
Is that horse
Yeah.
shit?
It's such
It's really
horse
just
shit.
Joe Rogan who's
I
just
think-
talking about Texas a lot.
Yeah, I think it's in Hollywood. Like, if you want to move to Hollywood, like, I think a lot of people are moving out of Hollywood.
Well, that makes sense.
And moving out to, like, Calabasas. But I think that everyone is still here.
Yeah, I mean, like I keep looking at like my dream is to have this little like weird arty yet car-filled compound in the high desert somewhere that's all like solar powered and off the grid and everything. And I look around and I'm like, none of this is affordable for me right now.
Can you not like Palm Desert it? That sounds like a Palm Desert
Yeah,
kind of
oh, no, it's a
situation.
She
total-
sends
like
me
Joshua
listings
Tree.
to Joshua Tree and Palm Desert
yeah,
all the
yeah.
time.
Or like an
Yeah, yeah.
Ojai maybe? Ojai situation?
Yeah,
or is that
maybe
not
Ojai.
deserty enough?
Maybe Ojai. I mean, what would be nice is be able to like go testing like right out your front door.
Oh, yeah.
Work
Big
on
Bear.
the race car and then go out.
Like
yeah,
you're talking about like a ranch.
yeah,
like,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
5 acres that's like adjacent to BLM land, like
Yeah.
right near Johnson Valley. But yeah, like Big Bear would be awesome
Something
because
like
then
that.
you get a little bit of winter and it's not quite so hot in the summer.
You
Like, that would
definitely
be
want
rad.
some snow in that kind of situation too.
Sure.
Bucky's got a rally stage in his yard down in Temecula.
Really?
You know Bucky Lasik?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know him, but
He's got a fucking rally stage. It's pretty
rad.
That's
Pretty awesome.
that's
It's not
rad.
long, but
Is
it's long
that-
enough.
Now, was that a result of COVID or no? That
No,
was just
this has
always
been there for years. Yeah,
Okay.
it's been there for a long time. Yeah, but I know what you mean. Being able to just like have your off-road vehicle just there
Yeah.
and not have
Yeah.
to put it on a trailer and take it somewhere.
Right. It would be awesome. I'm willing to like illegally cross pavement, like illegally cross 247.
Yeah.
You know, like live in Pioneer Town and then like illegally cross.
Pioneer Town.
Dude, Pioneer Town is dope.
Can't,
It is, yes.
In what way?
There's just some really nice, like, wackadoo houses out there. So,
really?
Yeah, there's, like,
Okay.
dome houses and, like, shit that's built out of
I
bricks
always see
and
the
stones
dome houses
and stuff.
want to be
So
like,
cool.
all right, get me into the mindset of the person who goes, get me out of here and build me a fucking dome. I just want,
so cool.
Well,
I
you're
just
a
want to
super hippie.
worship Buckminster Fuller on my own time and amass this arsenal
That's right.
for when the race war comes.
That's right.
You know, like, okay, whoa, hold on.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
you have a bunker.
yeah,
down.
totally
You dig
have a
down.
bunker. Totally
Yes.
have a bunker. I know.
They
yeah.
call it an Earth house now, don't they?
Yeah, like,
Bunker.
Oh,
It's like an
man.
Earth
Is that
home.
what- Is that the politically correct
so. They're
version
calling them
of
Earth
It's a
it?
new
homes.
thing. It's a subterranean storage. It's totally eco-friendly.
How cool would it be to have like a rammed earth home where you take like old tires and you basically fill them with dirt and then you like tamp all the dirt into that and like those are your walls?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where? Oh, what do they do in Mexico or somewhere in South America? Glass bottles.
Yeah, yeah,
Glass
yeah.
bottles
Glass
and
bottles.
mud, and it's beautiful. It's
And
like
it's
very
like-
like a mosaic when it comes
And
up.
it's very it's very
Is it insulate?
thank you. There's the word. Sometimes I lose my nouns. Yeah, it's like very insulating. So like it's warmer in the winter and it's cooler in the summertime and all that stuff. Like it's I
I
mean
guess if you close the bottles, the air in the bottles would warm up,
Oh,
and maybe if the
that's a
glass,
good point.
maybe.
Yeah.
But also
Yeah.
that mud, I think, is pretty.
Yeah,
it's
that's
pretty
right.
thick.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
a foot
Yeah.
thick of
Yeah.
like a clay.
or like straw bale homes.
I've seen that.
Got
That's
like
wild.
a foot long. giant straw bale.
You
that's coming up.
totally lost me at Earth Home.
No,
The
dude,
coolest one I've
into
seen
that.
is the ones in Bali that they're doing with bamboo, where they look like gigantic castles made of bamboo.
Oh, that would be
it's
rad.
crazy.
I'm gonna come visit you, and then I'm gonna go home.
Well, like I would have a shower. It would just be outdoors.
No, but I understand wanting to have like 100 acres of ranch somewhere. You
Yeah.
can just fuck around.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes.
I mean, mostly I just want a garage. Like right now, I don't have a garage, so I don't have a place to work on anything.
I have a.
We are
oh, you mean
in
a
the
wrench?
biggest-
A wrench garage? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a workshop and like a little space to sew because I really like to sew. So like right now I'm sewing outside, which really sucks.
Do you have a
Like-
space here to wrench on cars or no?
No, the one kind of downer, although it's probably better for me, is that we're not actually zoned for mechanical work here. So we can detail, we can do a lot of things, we can't do mechanical.
Okay.
But that's probably for the best. Honestly, it's probably I don't want to become like everyone's project car home.
No.
You know?
I've seen places up north that are like co-op garages, but it's mostly like come in and change your oil, not like come in and completely modify a car that's going to take you a year, like the project that you guys have at the hangar. Like, it's not that kind of thing. You're
Yeah.
renting bays for like $50 an hour.
You're
like,
renting them
I'm not-
hourly.
Yeah.
You're not.
You're not. I was like, I just want to rent this for the year. Like, okay.
There's a spot up in Seattle called The Shop. That's a car storage place, but they have a lot more space to work with up there, and so it's a big place, and so they've got storage, and they have several lifts, 3 or 4 lifts that you can work on your own stuff. They got a full restaurant and bar there. It's pretty wild,
Damn.
but yeah, that's the kind of place where you could do a project probably, and they'd be about it.
There's like all kinds of tools, so like
Yeah.
you don't have to go out and get all of the expensive welders and all that stuff that.
Yeah,
I would
no,
really like to have
I'm not
if I
even
had a
trying
garage.
to.
I feel like
trying to do that here.
I feel like my Suzuki XL7 project is not worthy of this area.
I'm sorry. Hold up. You bought a Suzuki XL7 and went, I know what to do with this.
We're turning it into a Moab, like an off-road, like an overlanding Moab rig.
And the XL7 is the big one?
It's like the sort of the not exactly a Grand Vitara, but yeah, it's the big one.
It's 4 doors, right?
Yes,
yeah,
it's 4
okay.
doors, yeah.
Is it platform shared with anything else? It's pure Suzuki, right?
Pure. I think there may be something else that it's shared with.
Jay, can you pull up an XL7 Suzuki? I'm picturing a Grand Vitara.
It's the Grand Vitara. Yeah, it's
Is it just like the not as nice Grand Vitara?
totally.
The idea that a Grand Vitara is an upgraded anything is
Yeah.
hilarious, by the way.
The car
Those-
was $2,500.
Where'd you guys
and
buy
was it
it?
like Was it
Arizona.
nice for $2,500?
Oh my gosh, it was a total grandma car that was totally inside forever and ever and always, and it's in beautiful shape.
Okay.
For a Suzuki XL7.
So I mean, does anyone make aftermarket parts for this
Yes.
thing? Really?
Yes.
Is there a sub enthusiast community that we didn't even know about?
There
That's
is.
all in on the. Oh, is it that? It's that roundy thing?
No, that's not. That's a newer one.
Oh,
That looks like
Mine's
a
a
Saturn
2000
View.
mine sounds a
platform.
2002.
Oh, it's that.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
That. Okay. Got
Yeah.
it. So it's a 4-door.
So, yeah.
It resembles like a Honda Passport or something.
Yeah, we've got Old Man Emu makes some aftermarket parts for it. There's
It's
also
an awesome name for a shop.
They're out of Old Man Emu?
They're out
No,
of
no,
Australia.
They're out of Australia.
That's
yeah.
a fucking killer name. That's
Yes.
right up on the board with Mr. Zog's Sex Wax
Yes.
as a brand name. As a brand name I won't forget.
Yes, we're putting BFG KO2s on it, and we've got rock rails for it. We're putting extra skid plates on it.
What engine is in this?
It's a V6.
Is it a Suzuki-made V6?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
They made like their own V6?
It's great. I mean, honestly, it's like a really solid car. It has a solid rear axle. It has a locker. It's a good. Maybe it doesn't have a locker. No, it has a solid rear axle, but it's a 4x4 car, and
Does it have a low? It has a low gear.
It has a low gear.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's an automatic, right?
It's an
It's like a
automatic.
4-speed auto or something.
Yeah,
Or,
4-speed auto. And it's it's super
And
solid.
$2,500. How many miles on it?
Like $100,000.
This is all right. So this is something where the depreciation of the Suzuki brand has really negative effectively. Like if
Yeah.
you wanted the nicest Suzuki Kazashi in the world right now,
Yes.
it's like
Yeah.
$3,500, and that was a lovely car.
Yeah.
Did you ever drive a Kazashi when
I
it was
have
new?
not. No.
I had one. I was on the press launch for the Suzuki Kazashi.
way.
It was awesome. You want to talk about a car that was secretly really nice and that nobody ever gave any credit for? The Kazashi was it.
Nice.
And I bet you couldn't find one for more than $4,000 or $5,000 anywhere on the
No.
planet right now.
That's awesome.
When you guys
Good
were
for
shopping
you,
for
though.
that, did you ever consider a Samurai? Or was that just too
No,
normal?
it's too small.
Oh.
Too small.
Samurai is
so,
actually too valuable.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
We're
if it's
put-
for Moab, the
putting-
Sammy would be great for Moab.
So we're putting the ARB fridge back there. So there's like there'll be a fridge back there. We've got we needed
You need more space.
space.
Okay.
We needed places to kind of put everything because it is going to technically be an overlanding vehicle. We're not putting a roof tent on it. We're just going to be camping. But yeah,
Dude, the number of roof tents I'm seeing in LA right
It's
now is
crazy.
off the
Yeah,
chain.
and what they're on. It's like
God
I've
bless.
seen them on some like crazy things. Like
God bless.
wow.
Drive your fucking 84 BMW off-road and park your shit and sleep in it.
It's funny.
God bless. Have fun.
There are but hey, listen, the overlanding thing is blowing up.
But you're more
right now.
traditional tent camping?
Yeah. Well, I think we experienced a really particularly the weather. So the second to last time we went to Moab, there were like gusts of like 50 mile an hour winds right on the Maze Overlook where we were staying, and a roof tent literally probably would have blown a vehicle off the side.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we
shit.
were the lower that we were to the ground,
It's like a big sail,
the
huh?
better. It
Yeah.
was and
Yeah.
so for that reason alone, it's like I think
But
we'll
what
be
if
lower
what
to the
if that
ground.
happens if you're in it and it
Oh
could
my
blow?
God! Okay, no, we literally are camped out on a cliff, and I have two friends who are there. So Lonnie, who is
Right.
an amazing producer for Kotu Media, and then Emme, whoever's sitting next to me, and they're like, okay, we get there and they're gonna pitch tents, and the weather was just fucking crazy this whole time. So Emme goes and puts hers like over there, like attaches it to a tree, kind of like near the side of the cliff, and then Lonnie puts hers like right near the side of the cliff, and then suddenly the wind just picks up. 50 mile an hour gusts. I'm not kidding. I was looking at Emmy's tent.
I was
Both
in it.
of these women are in their tents. And the wind is just like, like the tent poles are like coming out
no.
of Lonnie's tent. I can see the curve of her body, like the tent is like basically like if not like flying. Like I'm like, dude, I'm literally about to watch Emme fly off of a cliff into the maze in Canyonland.
I was fine.
To her
I was
death.
fine.
Did
No,
you
because
did you
you got
achieve
out.
liftoff at any point?
Yes.
No. Come
Your
on.
thing flipped over. You
What?
were out of
I
it,
was
but
out
it
of it.
flipped over.
I mean,
was
I'm not
crazy.
I'm not a petite lady, so I had my own weight in there plus my bag of stuff.
Dude,
It was
that was not
there
enough
wasn't-
for the elements. Mother Nature would have had your butt over
Yeah.
the side of that thing.
It was pretty.
Was the wind going up the cliff or down the cliff?
No,
It
it
was
was
coming
coming like
up.
Coming up, right?
Because
It's an
remember when
updraft,
we
right?
had the uphill waterfall?
was so
there
nuts.
was water that was like coming up over the
Yeah.
cliff. Yeah, it
We
was
have
crazy.
that in Malibu, the clouds.
It was
up at the
crazy.
top of Payuma.
It was crazy this morning.
That's the best. When you get an early morning fog and the clouds roll over and
Yeah,
you've got
yeah,
the
yeah.
cloud waterfall, that's the jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I
Yeah, don't tent camp at 50 mile an hour wind.
We actually had to take
The
shelter
Jews
in
learned
the
that in
vehicle.
Yeah.
the BC. We don't camp anymore.
we figured out just tents.
They're
is
like,
fine.
we've pushed our luck enough. 40 years of camping was sufficient. We're good.
That's biblical.
Imagine
I'll
if you
van-
had an arc top tent, though. That'd be just
I would
amazing.
van camp
No.
for sure.
Yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, that's great. Yeah, I like that. Vans
Van
are
life
good.
van life is awesome.
Van life is very
Van life
fucking
is
hot right now.
It's such a thing. Oh my god! Every time when I like drive by a Sprinter van, I'm like, if it doesn't have KO2s and Max Tracks, like, are you even a vanner?
There's
you even
a
a Sprinter
lot
van
of
driver?
custom Sprinters, man. I was talking to a guy who I don't remember the name of the company, but some Cars and Coffee, and he makes them, and he said he's got like years long
Yeah.
waiting lists for these things.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I also just got pitched a Sprinter van that's fully armored.
Ooh.
Where are you taking that? The
Armored Sprinter van. I was like, who needs this?
Bro, people are such fucking pussies. It's
dictators.
unbelievable.
You're a dictator. You're gonna put
Dictator.
a dictator in a Sprinter van.
I had a guy on the podcast once who made armored shit, and I
wonder if it was the same.
I
same
felt
company.
weird about having him on in the first place. He was real fucking black watery, and it made me feel very uncomfortable. And I vowed to not vowed. I said I wasn't going to have like real.
Drew a line in the sand.
Real, like,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, dude, I felt really like uncomfortable. Like
I know what you
it was
mean. It's
pretty
not what you stand
obvious
for.
that this dude knew most of his customers were fucking shady and had absolutely no problem selling them things.
Right.
Like in order to stay alive and continue fucking whatever atrocities they were doing.
Yeah.
Safety first.
I thought it was
Safety third.
safety third.
Yeah.
I was safety third.
Anyway, how's Glamis?
It was fucking hot as balls.
Oh my, so bad.
God, it was so hot. So my navigator and I for the Rebelle Rally, Rebecca Donaghy, we went out because we wanted to, like get our sea legs again.
Are you guys competing against each other? Is this how this is going?
We
So
are.
Emme and I
Oh,
are
Zach didn't give me the fucking lowdown. He told me. I assumed you were working together.
No, because
Emme
we're
and I are
both
both
drivers.
drivers.
We're like, I'm
Oh,
not
I
navigating
see.
that shit.
I see.
too hard.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
ride right seas.
No.
We
No, the
couldn't.
thing
It's not
is-
like we could like share. Right?
The thing is
How do other drivers do it?
I'm not smart enough.
no, I'm not smart
totally
either. The
not smart
navigating
enough.
is for the Rebelle Rally is 100% the harder job.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't have the mind power. I don't have the patience, and I'm not detail oriented enough. I just be like, yeah, we're here.
I don't do
It's-
numbers.
Yeah.
I just don't do
I can't
numbers.
do it.
I
So give
transpose
us-
them. I'd be like, oh, we're going to Alaska for this checkpoint. Amazing.
So give us the rundown on what Rebelle Rally is for those new to the program.
So the Rebelle Rally, it's in its 5th year. It is an all-women's navigational rally. It's not a race, so it's not timed, and it's all about finding a series of checkpoints with no GPS. It's all compass and map.
It's all off road, for the record.
All
Yes,
off-road.
all off-road.
Yeah.
And they take away any device that you have that is GPS capable, that is a prohibited item. They take it away, they wrap it up in like security tape, and you don't get it for the whole week that we're out there. So we're basically really off the grid, which works out quite nicely with the whole COVID thing
Yeah, it's good.
situation going on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of allowed us to be able to do this with a little bit of peace of mind. But yeah, it's 7 days, and we're out there. We have 12, 13-hour days that we're behind the wheel. Like we usually have between 15 and 22 checkpoints in a day, and they vary based on the degree of difficulty. So they're kind of like ski runs. The greens are mandatory, big huge flag, like you can pretty much see where they are. But the blues are a little bit harder. Maybe it's a smaller flag or a little like stick of like blue rebar, and then the blacks, there's just no mark for where those are. So it could be like a rock on this thing here, but you just have to.
The rock's not even like a
Nope.
nothing.
There's nothing.
Just a
There's a nothing. You
Yeah.
have to plot, you have to go, and then you have to click your tracker and hope
Yeah.
that you're kind of close.
Yeah. So to find the black checkpoints, it's all about like driving to where you think it is, and then you look at the map and you're like, okay, well that mountain over there is this mountain here on my map, and that mountain over there, that valley or whatever, is this on my map. And so then like you, and by you I mean my navigator.
Yeah.
Someone else.
Yeah, someone else like triangulates and uses math and then says, okay, we need to move 50 meters that direction. And then you move 50 meters that direction, and then you like reset, and you're like, okay, we think this is it. And then the points for those black checkpoints are done in a bullseye. So if you're like right on within like,
Are they tracking you?
yes,
Yeah.
they know where we are.
They know
Alright.
where we are all the time.
So if you
They even know when I
get
speed
to
and
this
I get a
point,
penalty.
you get to this checkpoint, right? And you don't know that you're there, but
No.
they know you're there.
Right.
Well, how do you know you're there?
So
You find out you're there. You find out you're there
So
when you get there later that
it's
night
so
when you get
esoteric.
to.
yes, you do. So the way you tell
Sorry,
the rally.
you think you're there. They know
Where
you're
am
there, but they don't tell you that you're
they
there.
don't know that you know that
Like
they know
there's no
that you know that you're
like
there.
light on the dashboard that lights up when you
No.
bullseye.
We have
It's not like
we
it's
have
not like the
satellite
Dakar.
trackers. So anytime you get to a checkpoint, whichever degree of difficulty it is, you ping, and then that will give you your coordinates exactly where you are. So you have your coordinates for where that black checkpoint is. If you ping and you think, okay, I think we're here, and you ping and it's off, then you know, like, oh, balls, it's on the other side of the mountain. Like we really
Can you
screwed
ping
up.
over and over and over
No.
until?
No.
Oh, see, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Right.
there's
So
a
you-
penalty if you do that.
So there's a penalty for an incorrect ping.
There's a penalty for, they call it a wide miss. So if you're, I don't know, a certain like 100 meters or 200 meters away from a black checkpoint and you ping.
I think it's way less than that,
Yeah.
but sure.
But I mean, like, because like the first years, we would just get to where, if we were like running low on time, we'd kind of get to where we thought a black checkpoint was. And then we'd just like stick the tracker out and ping. And we called it press and pray. Just press and pray. Maybe we're there. Then we just got to
Yeah.
keep going.
You don't know.
So So they have done away with that. So that's no longer a strategy that is available to
Got
us.
it.
But now, if you are outside
that
of
makes
that,
sense.
then you can go back. You can figure out where you are,
Right.
and you can go back, but you're still docked points.
Right.
So then it ends up just being a wash if you can figure out where the black checkpoint is. But if you ping twice and you're outside of that bullseye, oh, you're screwed.
Yeah, you've lost.
Oh.
You're
You've
done.
lost.
Yeah.
So well, what if? All right. Well, so what if you ping once and miss?
Then you can because you have your coordinates now.
Right.
You can figure out where you are on your map,
And then get it
and
the
then
next time.
get it the next time.
And
Right.
if you get it the next time, now you're even.
Right.
Exactly, it's a wash.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't lose points, but
Right,
you don't
right.
gain any
Okay.
points.
Right.
So yeah.
But you still have to take the time then to go find it. And it's, I mean, even if you know that, even if you're, I don't know, 200 meters away, that's still 200 meters where you could still get off.
Right,
you know?
right.
And so you have to
Yeah.
make sure that it still takes time to get that second checkpoint, even if you know where you were.
And there
from the
are
beginning.
or are not trails that you're on
There
this.
are. Most
Yeah.
of the time we're on designated roads
Uh-huh.
because we're all in street legal cars.
Right.
So
So it's
there-
like off road, but it's
It's
like a
off-road, but it's
BLM
BLM.
land
Yeah,
or
it's
it's a
BLM
forest road or
Correct.
something like that. Right.
And we do go on open OHV. So in the past, we never know where the course is, but in the past, we've been in Johnson Valley, which is all open OHV. So you can go wherever you want. And also like Dumont Dunes and Glamis, those are all open
Right,
areas.
right.
So,
Well,
Yeah.
because I'm trying to picture like, okay, move 50 meters this way, like how wildernessy are we driving
they're-
these vehicles?
sometimes the
are
checkpoints-
we bouldering?
no.
Okay.
No.
So every checkpoint should be reachable
By
by
a
just
vehicle.
driving the car there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's funny because sometimes that will be a strategy is like, would they have put this here? Like, I don't know. This seems like it's pretty hard to get to, so maybe not. But
Yeah.
who knows? You never know.
Yeah. Yeah. Once we did have to walk to something, she put a checkpoint on the other side of this weird shack and had to walk through like a bunch of cow shit to get to it.
But you remember last year
Do they,
when we were
do they
all
tell
like,
you? They go, listen, there's going to be a checkpoint
No.
that A, you can't drive to, and B, there's going to be a lot of poo.
No, I had to like walk down
Where
this
your
little
boots?
like
It's going to be
ravine,
smelly.
and there were all these cows, and I had to like wade through all this cow shit and to go press the fucking button.
no, force majeure. I mean, whatever happens out there, they're like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
tough
that's
shit.
what happens.
Like that's you're out there. That's it. So yeah, but it's an.
Do you ever get to a point where you actually feel in danger for any reason?
I haven't,
um.
but somebody rolled their car last year.
Yeah, someone rolled
In
their
Glamis.
car. I mean, they're not in danger. I mean, I do think that there have been a couple of times for me that I've just been like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Didn't you guys come in at night last year?
No, it was still light out.
Oh, okay.
But we definitely got lost, and we were like, like, we don't know where we are. We're supposed to be here. I mean, the first time I did it in 2017, I had to spend the night on. So there's a self camp night where we all just kind of do our own thing, and we're all together. But my teammate and I, we never got back to the self camp area. So we, just the two of us, had to spend the night in the middle of Dumont Dunes all by ourselves.
Yeah.
That was not pleasant. I mean, that was scary.
That's the kind of thing I'm
Yeah.
talking about, where you go, okay, I have no idea where I am,
Yeah.
and it's now dark, and there's nothing around.
It's
There's
not
so much
scary.
nothing.
It's really just super disorienting because
Yeah.
I think on some level, like, oh, they know exactly where I am. They know that. I mean, they know I'm probably okay. Like,
Yeah.
if there's blood, we have a phone that we can call and be like, we need some help.
Yeah.
But you kind of on some level know that people know where you are, and
Yeah.
your families. I mean, you can watch what your people, what your team is doing from
the
your
like an
home.
online
It's
tracker,
online
right? Yeah.
tracking, so you can.
And
do
I
that.
imagine, like, you've got food, you've got
Yeah,
water,
we
like,
have food,
yeah.
We have all of our camping
you're
stuff
not-
in the truck. We're totally self-sufficient.
Yeah, but you're just like, ugh, I have absolutely no idea where I am.
Yeah.
Thought I'd be at bed tonight.
There's nothing worse.
Kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I guess if you're confident that, like, if anything really was going wrong, I just press that button.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And,
and the
like,
cavalry will show up.
come.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
On
that's
motorcycles and like in full force, and these are people that are legit. I mean, you feel really, really good about the staff that are that are behind this thing.
Is it one of those things where you're actually not that far away from the camp, but it feels like you are like
Sometimes, yeah.
like there's some of these events where it's like you actually have a main hub and you kind of run like star patterns
Yes.
out and back.
Yes.
So you're actually not that far away.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, but you just feel like you're like, we're in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere.
No, without GPS, you could drive for 15 minutes and be like, where the fuck am I? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no clue. That's why
Exactly.
I go to Rebecca and I say, where are we? She's like, oh, we're right here. Okay. And then like,
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I tell Sedona, so that she's my navigator and she's amazing. And I tell Sedona, I'm like, my 6 favorite words that you say when we are on here is, I know exactly where we are.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me happier than hearing those words
Yeah.
come out of your mouth.
I
And
don't-
she
I don't
says
like
them
not knowing where I am
She says them
at
a
all.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are some people that it really bothers them.
Yeah.
And I think one of the more amazing things about this event is it really does force you to kind of know those things about yourself.
Yeah.
How am I under a high pressure situation where am I uncomfortable when I'm lost, or am I okay when I'm lost, or how do
Yeah.
I deal with that when I'm in that moment?
And how much can I compromise and depend on somebody else? Like that's a
Yes.
huge thing. Like I'm pretty independent, and realizing like I cannot do the rally without Rebecca. Absolutely could not do it. So
But there's being independent, and then there's also like being
No, but-
like, that's a whole skill that I don't even have.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like if I want to go out and do this, I need her.
Right.
And if she wants to go out and do it, she needs me. So like, and it's a very interesting
I would say she needs someone who can turn a wheel and press pedals.
look, man.
Ouch.
You guys just spent 20 minutes talking about how hard the navigation was.
It is. It
So
is.
here's why, to me, this is why the navigation is hard. I think if you know how to plot a point on a map, that's great. You can be in your kitchen, you can be doing it, you can practice that as much as you want, and you can get that skill
Yeah,
down.
I can do that.
But when you get that, and you have to then look at whatever you plotted on your map out there, that's where the real skill is.
Yeah.
And to me, I mean, that's where, I know Rebecca is just an absolutely ace navigator, but so is Sedona. And Sedona will see things. She'll be like, oh, that finger, that's this one. And that, I need you to get me between that one and that one. And I'm like, okay, I take
Yeah.
you there. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, it's a lot of get me over there, get me over there, get me over there. Because we're not, unlike the
In that
gazelle.
point, are there no trails? We're talking about we're talking about not on a
Sometimes
trail.
there
with
are,
them.
they're
and
not.
sometimes
Yeah.
there aren't. And
Okay.
really, we also have the choice to be able to say, okay, there's, I need to get you up there. Like, there's this gnarly line that I could take that's like straight up. Do I feel comfortable enough with my rig, with my skill, that I can get you up there? Or is there another way that I can get? I
Yeah.
mean, should I walk up there if you would like me to? And I think that is definitely the case when you get into the dunes as
Yeah.
well. Is
Yeah.
the driving gets more and more technical as you go along, and I think that that's really where it kind of separates, the drivers who are like, oh yeah, let's go do
Yeah.
it, let's try. And I mean, Emme for sure is one of those drivers who's like,
I don't know, let's see what happens.
yeah, let's try it. I'll try that.
You guys have, both of you guys have pretty good amount of off-road experience. I mean, I know, Emme, I know you have a lot, but how much do you really need to get through in terms of off-roading experience? Like, how much, is there a lot of specialty off-roading?
There is a lot of places where you just have to be smart, and know, like Lyn said, know your skill and know your rig. The driving doesn't really get difficult until you get into Glamis, because that's where the driver can really get you stuck, and it could totally ruin your entire day.
Deep sand driving is a unique skill.
Yeah.
I mean, when Rebecca and I were out there practicing this past week, I got us stuck for 4 hours in the heat. And we were by ourselves. It was the dumbest thing we'd ever done in our entire lives. Like, first of all, we know you never go out into the dunes alone. Oh, let's go out into the dunes alone. You never try to cross Glamis from east to west. Oh, let's try to cross. Like,
Why do you never try and cross Glamis from east to west?
Well, you can do it in like a side by side or something that's a little bit lighter weight. But in a Jeep Gladiator that weighs 5,000 pounds with a wheelbase,
So you just can't? Can you just not get up
the dunes get really, really big, and it's just tough to. It's just tough to get across, I mean,
I can't picture east to west versus north to south. What's
north
the
to
difference?
south is the long.
Is
It's
the
like 40 miles,
lengthwise.
and east to west is about 5
5
miles.
miles.
But
yeah.
it's 5 of the crazy mountain climber
Those
miles.
things are they're big, they're shifty. You know, especially
They're
when
shifty.
especially when you're out there because we went out a couple weeks before you over Labor Day weekend, and it was equally hot. I mean, I think the temperatures got up to 123 degrees out there in the middle, and the sand after it's been, after a long afternoon, that sand gets really soft, and then it gets really liquid, and you're just like, oh man, like I can't, like you have to be very careful. Your eyes are blown out if you're not really reading these things the way that you should be, you can get into big trouble.
I haven't thought about the density of the sand.
Yeah, it gets really, really,
So in the
really
morning,
soft.
you have really
Morning
nice
is better.
sand, good sand.
You'll have like a nice little crust on the top.
Oh, it's like skiing.
Yeah.
I never thought about it like that.
It's totally like skiing. Yeah.
I felt like there was parts where I was like, I feel like there's glass being made here
Yeah.
right now because it was so flippin' hot. But yeah.
And it's all about like, because we're in stock vehicles and we can't really like side hill anything like you can in a side by side or in a buggy. So it's all about for us like going scouting first, looking and seeing what's over the hill, and then going straight up essentially and lifting right when you get to the top so that you have enough to get over, but not enough that you're launching. And then
And in a Gladiator, you're not high centering there?
no.
Well, because normally what you're doing is you're not just going straight over and over this way, but you're coming up and you're sort of cresting the hill because you you always want to be pointing the nose of your car down,
Right.
so that you can sort of get out of because if you've got a razorback that you can't even see down there, you've got a witch's eye.
Right,
the last thing you want to do is be like,
which
you're
is why
going to tumble over.
Which is why we scout it all the time.
Yeah.
So and there's sometimes where like there might be a little tiny razorback on the other side, but like that's kind of the line that you're at that moment. So sometimes you have to take a risk and do that. So with the Gladiator, I had one moment where I did have to go up and there was like a little 3-foot razorback on the other side, and it was just like, okay, well, just keep your foot on it for a tiny little bit longer so you don't high center. And when I made it over and I looked back, it was just like,
Chunked out of it.
It's really funny.
But that's also, to me, that's where our navigators really like show their mettle, because if they say, they're like, okay, well, we have a point that's over here, and you're like, okay, take me there. But as a driver, you're looking at what's between you and where that point is. You're like, yeah, no, I'm so not driving that way. So you're going to have to I'm going to have to go over here, and you're going to have to make sure that we still know, like taking that heading, making sure that we still know exactly where we are, that you can get around to that spot, because this ain't happening.
Yeah.
Didn't you do this thing last year in a Rolls?
I did.
In a Cullinan?
I did.
That's kind
dumb.
of it was dumb.
No,
No,
it
I'm
was
going to high
great.
five you just for that.
It
Because
was-
that's awesome.
I thought you did well though. Didn't
we
you do
won.
well?
They won.
We won.
Yeah.
They won
So how is
they won
that?
the crossover
So how is
class,
that dumb?
Which is it's not dumb.
No, here's what happened. So
Yeah, we won. It was stupid.
the year before,
Stupid awesome.
I hate winning. Lame.
So lame.
the year
So
before
lame.
we had we tied for first, and we were in a Jeep Wrangler, right, in a Rubicon. Okay, well, I mean, that's what that Wrangler is made for, right? Is
Right.
doing this kind of stuff. And so we're like, well, we knew we wanted to go to crossover, and we knew we wanted to do it in something really silly. And so we thought, like, well, maybe we could do it in like an all-wheel drive Mini, or we could do it, like.
That would have been terrible.
But it would have been fun and dumb, right? Like, what's the car you least expect to be out there? And then Rolls came out with the Cullinan, and I'm like, oh yes. So I literally called him up. I'm like, hey, we do this thing. We just won. I would love to do it in your car. And the PR people were like, that sounds fantastic. And they put skid plates all across the bottom for us, which was awesome.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's
Because you
helpful.
want your Cullinan to be a little heavier.
A little heavier. Because the 6,300 pounds of
Not
it was
enough.
not enough.
Yeah, but done by Rolls is pretty cool.
Yeah,
right?
factory.
It had
factory
diamond-
That's pretty
skids.
cool, yeah.
Diamond
Yeah.
encrusted skid
Yeah.
plates.
They
And
put
they-
diamond
No, I'm
plate.
kidding.
Can you imagine? That would have been rad.
And they put in like a cool spare tire carrier in the back, which was awesome. But because of the fitment issues with the kind of the like suspension knuckle that comes up over the tire, and then the way the brakes are, because the brakes are so big,
Brakes are huge.
I could only run, the smallest wheels I could run were 21 inches.
Nice.
Which is terrible for
Yeah.
off-road. And then because of that little like knuckle that came over the top, I don't know, I'm not a mechanic. It was some piece of metal that came up over the top. The biggest tire package, it could only be 31 and a half inches. So you find me an off-road tire that's 31 and a half inches with a 21-inch wheel. Like, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So we ran on their stock snow tires.
Sweet.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
We got 3 flats.
We all felt really bad for them.
3 Flats. Once we got 2 flats at
that
once.
Sucks, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
it was bad.
That is terrible.
We did all of.
What do you do if you? How many spares were you
We
carrying?
had 2. We carried 2 spares. So one of them got plugged on like day 2, and then on day 5, I think we got 2 flats at once.
Yeah.
So we swapped those out, and then one of them had like this giant gash, and I was like, well, we got to try to fix it because I got to have a spare, right? Because the
this is
next
so
2 days we were going to be in Johnson Valley and Barstow, which are both like rocky as fuck, right? So I'm like, we got to have a spare somehow. We got to make sure. So I'm at the mechanics, and these mechanics are. You can't bring your own mechanic. The rally has mechanics that are provided for you, and they are the shit. They are. They know every trail trick, every MacGyver thing that you could possibly do on the
They've
trail.
changed
right?
clutches out
Yeah.
there in the middle
Really?
of the desert.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
not kidding.
great.
Yeah, they're
great,
amazing.
Great mechanics. So first of all, we have to get the tire off of this $2,000 wheel, right?
Right.
You know, and we don't have a D beater or whatever, so we've got a high lift jack under a big truck, and we're doing it that way, and like with big old tire smooths, and it's just like on
That
this
moment when you decide
super fancy
I'm
rim.
just gonna have to break this $300,000 vehicle, it's a good freeing moment.
Especially when the Rolls representative is there with you.
Yeah.
is there
And
well,
is
no,
watching the whole thing.
And they go, listen, you know.
He came over and
I
was
don't
like-
fucking own it. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Here's what it
he
is.
did. It was like, just do what you got to do, I guess.
Yeah.
Was that Jerry Spawn?
It was Jerry, yeah. So we're trying to like patch it from the inside. Oh, of course these are run flats too, so there's all that crap that's in there. So we're trying to like scrape that out and like patch it from the inside and plug it from the outside, and then we're sewing a tire. I'm like, you can sew a tire?
You sewed a
I
tire?
literally thought that Nick was making fun of me because I'm a sewist.
Emmy's a costumer.
Yeah, I
know
used to be a
previous
costumer.
life she was a costumer.
Yeah, so like I can tailor jacket and all that shit. So I was like, Nick is totally making fun of me right now. He's like, no, really, this is a thing you can do. And he brings out this kit with a needle that's, you know, like.
Yeah, like a whaling harpoon
Yes.
needle or something.
So
Yeah.
I sew up this tire,
You
but
can
I mean.
sew a tire, and you can also go shark fishing with this
That's
fucking
right.
thing.
Catch Moby Dick.
But we
Just in case.
were never able to make it work, so we ended up doing half of Johnson Valley and half of Barstow and a full day of Johnson Valley with no spares. And so then that really modified our strategy. And
Wait. So take it back. Ultimately, you did not fix the tire.
No.
All right.
Ultimately, the tire was not fixed. So ultimately, we were
well,
done.
You started with giant gash, and I was like, oh, okay.
Done with our
And something
spares.
tells me this wasn't
Yeah.
going to work.
No, it wasn't. But
So you can sew tires, but for absolutely no outcome
like-
But
whatsoever.
not.
I think if it's a smaller gash, but like this was at least
Or if
2
you have an
inches.
inner tube, you're just sewing the casing together,
Right,
which makes
right.
sense.
Yeah. So, but that.
And despite
wasn't-
all this, you still won?
Yeah, because Rebecca's
Studs.
fucking awesome.
Studs.
No, we were able to make different decisions then in Johnson Valley. Like there was a checkpoint up at the top of this really rocky hill. I'm like, we're not going up there. Like we're gonna leave the car here and we're gonna walk because I'm not risking these tires. You
Yeah.
know? And I knew that if we can just get it to Glamis, we'll be fine. Because if I get a flat in Glamis, then I'm an idiot, right? And I know I'm not an idiot most of the time. So, so we just made better decisions about where we were willing to take the car. So that day it meant a lot
You
more
did a lot of
walking.
hiking.
We did a
Yeah.
lot of hiking. I was like, I'll
a lot
get
of
you
steps
halfway
that
up.
day.
Yeah.
No, but that's
Other than the wheels, which, okay, yeah, 21s, but 21s are dumb for off-roading, but sure, I get it. You need to have brakes for
Right.
a 6,300-pound vehicle with 500 and whatever horsepower this
right.
thing's got.
So,
And
what's good about
despite
it?
that,
Despite all that, because it has so much torque, it's like 600 and something pound-feet of torque.
Yeah.
And there's no low gear, right? But
Yeah.
because it has so much
just
torque.
has D.
You
It's just
can-
fucking D,
There is
right?
an off-road mode. There's an off-road.
Oh, there is an off-road mode?
there
Okay,
is.
cool.
But because of that, like when we did have to go up like rocky ass stuff, I could go really, really slow because I
Yeah.
could rely on that torque, and I didn't have to carry any momentum like, let's say, the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross had to carry because
Yeah.
that had 20 pound-feet of torque.
Someone voluntarily ran in a Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross.
Oh my gosh, they had an amazing team though.
Yeah.
They had it was an Army vet.
You would
and-
literally have to pay me
Yeah. It was, and,
to off-road in one of those.
2 Army vets and one.
No, Kara's Air Force.
Oh, sorry. 1 Army vet, an Air Force vet who is technically a quadriplegic, and she has use of her arms. It's a genetic disease that she has, and it's just basically a degenerative disease. But this chick is hardcore, and she was just out there, like she was driving with her hand controls and like
beast.
moving this thing
There
out.
you
I mean,
go.
she
It
was
was great.
awesome. And Mitsubishi, I do have to say, like I was super stoked that Mitsubishi stepped up in the way that they did and sponsored that team. They're doing that again this year with the Outlander PHEV. So, which we totally have to talk about what you're driving
Is that
this
the same
year.
car that they've just given up naming the Eclipse? I don't know. That would be an improvement.
No. But
I don't want to make fun of them, but they've really left the door wide open. There's not much we can do.
Remember we were on the
Yeah.
Mitsubishi, was it the Eclipse Cross that we were on? And we were like, man, and because it has
Oh, we were on that drive together,
Yeah, it
yeah.
has the motor on it is like super like torquey and fun.
Yeah,
Like the
it's kind
turbo
of
on
a
it is
fun-
great. But then you start to actually drive it and it's just like,
Yeah, it's like
it
a
handles like shit.
really blubbery and
You know, a
and they
company
put
that
it-
makes cargo ships. It's
I
shocking.
know,
Right.
but it
Well, and then they, put
got
it,
the motor right,
They
but
put
the,
that CVT on there, and then they were just like, oh.
Did you guys see this Hummer EV thing that's coming back?
yes.
And with crab walking ability?
Yes.
You know, talking about this person with hand controls, like I was thinking that like if they're gonna do an EV that's crab walk ability, like why not go full joystick at that point? You know what I mean? Like why
Yeah.
not have obviously make a version with a steering wheel and pedals, but like you could be the first person to make a factory like straight joystick
Yeah.
drivable for people who don't have the use of their legs or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like if it's all drive-by-wire anyway,
Yeah.
why
yeah,
not?
who cares?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Write
Just
it
a
down.
thought.
Yeah.
Write it down.
Yeah,
That's
you
a good
can take
idea.
you can take 10% of all sales.
Excuse me, General Motors. No one's ever thought of that before.
They probably haven't.
You know
GM,
what?
you may not.
You know what?
It's
That's funny. They probably haven't.
Just saying.
When is Rebelle Rally this year? When are you guys going?
We leave. Sedona and I leave a week from tomorrow.
What are you driving, Lynn? Are you also in a Jeep?
No. So this year, so the team that I'm driving on is Team Wild Grace, and this is the 5th year that they've been on the rally. So they're where the team is 100% Rebelle. Sedona, who is my navigator, is 100% Rebelle. And every single year she's driven with Nissan. So her brother-in-law works for Nissan and has provided her vehicles. And this year is exactly the same. And this year we're going to actually drive a 2020 Frontier with the new V6 powertrain in it.
All right.
And actually, this is kind of cool news, is that so Nismo is getting back into the off-road aftermarket space,
All
which
right.
is pretty good. And
stoked.
they've tricked out. If
What
you
was
go,
what was the Titan off-road package that called?
Though
it was
that's
not
just
Nismo.
the Pro 4X.
Oh, Pro 4X.
Yeah, but that's
right,
just
yeah.
That's
off
just
the
a
floor
trim.
room. That's not
Yeah.
that's not
But
any
if you
aftermarket
go,
stuff.
I just posted a picture of it today of the truck. So we're
Can
kind
you
of
get
breaking.
Lynn's Instagram up?
We're
Yep.
breaking an embargo right now because the embargo has not lifted technically.
It's okay, nobody watches this show.
But it's the one. It's the one on the far left.
Yeah, the red guy.
There you go.
Red, orange, lava colored.
Yeah. So we've got a
Ooh,
wrap.
nice wheels.
They put a cool wrap on it. We've got KO2s on it. Those are also the new Nismo off-road wheels that
I
they
like
put
those
on
wheels.
it. So you can
Those
see.
are good wheels,
Yeah, the
actually.
wheels are
yeah,
pretty
those
sweet.
Are nice, yeah.
We've got a steel bumper on the front. We've
And
got
you have a winch. Thank you.
We
I'm
do.
Wow.
totally going to be your best friend.
We have a winch. We've got, so we've got Bilstein shocks. We've got bypass shocks in the back. We've got rigid lights that Nismo is working with. So there are some really cool things that are coming. They're going to work with I think the Xterra, the Frontier, and the Titan.
I'm sorry. Are they still making the fucking Xterra?
No. They're not making it.
they're
But
talking about selling parts for it.
Parts you can get
All right.
for your. Dude, I want one of those.
I've seen it.
Like,
Actually,
those are
I've seen a
cool.
couple decked out Xterras, and I go,
Yeah.
"Oh wait, actually, that's
Yeah,
something."
yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah.
the Mitch
I have a
was?
similar nostalgia for Discoveries,
Yeah.
but then I remember that, like, actually, maybe not.
Yeah, no. So it's really, I mean, honestly,
That's a pretty cool looking truck.
it's
All right.
it's an awesome truck. They put
Yeah,
a sweet.
yeah.
You can't really see it, but there are there are topography lines all over there, and then there are these little bullet points about like Nissan's
Oh,
history.
and the whole truck is like a topographical
Yeah.
map wrap.
Oh, that's rad.
Cool.
And there are these little marks about like Nissan's history in the truck racing world, which is pretty awesome.
There you go.
So we're really excited. I mean, last year we drove a modified Armada.
Oh.
Which was, I mean,
giant.
talk about like it was
That's
probably like
huge.
6,500
Yeah,
pounds
yeah.
of just
Oh my god.
of meat.
And it went though from a 6-inch lift to a 3-inch lift.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
them. They
so
took
they
the
brought
lift
it down a little bit because that would have not worked anywhere. It just would have been a little very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah, that thing hauled ass though, and we were. I mean, in the dunes, like it was. She's a heavy girl, but we did okay.
She's zaftig.
She's a heavy girl.
You know,
but yeah.
I like that though. That's cool.
The cool thing about Nissan is they are the only OEM who's actually done this event all 5 years that they've participated. They've put in a car. They've had a team in there, and I like the fact that they really believe in this event, that it's it's something that that is obviously important to me. But I think that to have this is the longest off-road rally in the United States. The fact that it's only for women, I think, only makes it that much
How many
cooler.
miles is it?
It's about 1,600 miles.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Depending.
It's like 2 weeks.
7 days.
7 days.
So it starts in Tahoe
That's a
area
ton.
and goes down to Glamis.
Yeah.
1,600 miles in 7 days off-road is a lot of
There,
driving.
there are a few transit stages, especially when you go if we go to Johnson Valley again,
Yeah.
then it's like a big transit stage to get to Glamis.
And are there like
Yeah.
fire roads where you can go 30 or 40 miles an hour as well? Or is
Oh,
it
yeah.
all really
Yeah.
slow?
No.
No.
There's some places that are
Okay.
faster.
There's not really a lot of big, huge rock crawling stuff, so
Okay.
it's not. Yeah, there's definitely space for that. But we do, time, speed, distance challenges, and there are a lot of things that are kind of mixed up within
Sub-challenges.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Last year, we had to. The driver had to. Well, one of you had to show like a certain list of things on your car, like how you check the oil, how you do this, how you do that,
Yeah.
and then someone else had to gather all of your safety equipment, and then
Yeah.
whichever team could do it the fastest would get like 5 extra points or something. And of course, I'm in the rolls, and they're like, "How you check the oil?" I'm like, "Well, come here on the
Come here.
screen.
You take it to the
and I'll
dealer.
show you."
And they're like, no. And you're like, no.
This
No,
is
you
this
don't
is what it is.
But you should have just said, "How do you check the oil?" You take it to the dealer.
You don't. Yes.
How do you take it to the dealer? How do you do this?
Bartholomew
How do you
takes it to the dealer.
That's right.
At one point, we did get.
my man Jenkins takes it.
How did that thing ride on
Like
in
a
an
cloud?
off-road? Was it as great? Yeah.
Yeah,
the best,
it was.
right?
What was great is Rebecca could, a lot of times, like I would have to stop if we were in the Jeep. I'd have to stop to let Rebecca like look at the map or make some markings on the map, but she could do a lot
Oh,
more
she just
while
do
we were
it while going. Yeah.
My favorite part was when they were in the sun and Emme would come out with the umbrella that would like always like get stuck in the door, and she'd be like, "Here you go," and she's walking around like with the umbrella, like that was just amazing.
Does Range Rover have a team, a car?
They don't have
No.
nothing official, but there will probably be some rovers there.
Some defenders,
Yeah.
at least.
No defenders.
Is there
No
a
defenders.
is there a build your own rig class as well? If you wanted to bring your XL7.
Well, everything has to be street legal.
Yeah,
Right,
there
right,
are
but
two-
there's
you
a lot.
guys
Oh,
are
yeah.
driving like
Luna,
factory vehicles, or people show up in their own shit
Yes.
too, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
April. What's April's?
April Leon.
Leon. She's building this. It's a Forerunner.
It's a Forerunner, yeah.
This Forerunner that like is amazing. She's got the whole out. Speaking of diamond plate, the whole outside is diamond plate, and I'm like,
What?
Oh my god, that's going to be so heavy. But she's
It's
like, it's
diamond
great.
plate.
Yeah,
Diamond plate on the outside of a
I'm
Forerunner.
pretty sure.
Bro, is it
Like
is this
we-
Marv?
like-
is
like-
this Marv Heemeyer? Is this the Killdozer? Do you guys watch Tread yet on Netflix?
No.
No, I haven't
Do you
watched it.
remember? Do you remember the Killdozer? The guy
I know
in
the
Colorado.
the band.
No. The guy in Colorado who
He built a tank, right?
He built a tank out of a bulldozer, like armor plated the whole thing, and started running over buildings in the town in his town.
Like his post office.
There's a
and stuff.
documentary on Netflix about it called Tread. It's crazy.
Okay, I'm watching that.
Yeah. Marv
really watch it.
Heemeyer
That's
is the
funny.
guy's name.
Okay.
And at first, it's one of those situations where in the beginning, it's like, did you see Wild Wild Country?
Yeah.
So in the beginning, you go, that sounds kind of cool. How harmless could these people be? And it's the
I'm
same
pulling for
thing.
this guy.
At the same time, in the beginning, this guy's like, yeah, his neighbors did fuck him. Yeah, fuck those guys. And then he starts talking about, and then when the police came in the house and didn't find the Killdozer, I saw it as a sign from God that I should continue my mission. You go, stepping away from Mr. Heemeyer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Great.
watch, it's crazy.
I'm going to add that to my list. No, I mean, there's a lot.
But
I mean,
wait,
most
diamond-plated Forerunner? We're really...
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't realize
I need to
that.
see
That's
pictures of the
pretty awesome.
It might not
diamond-plated
be
Forerunner.
all
Not
around.
rhino liner, diamond
no,
plate.
No, that's because
Yeah.
that's what I said too. But she said that when she weighed it, it only added like 200 pounds or something. I was surprised.
But does it look like a disco ball when it goes across the dunes? Does it just
Shiny,
reflects the sun?
We're going to be able to see her
We're gonna
all the
know
way across and know exactly where
it
she is.
I know. I'd be like,
Is-
there's that.
Jay just Googled diamond-plated
Just because.
Forerunner.
I'm just curious.
Nothing has come up immediately.
No, it's like,
Yeah.
I've seen the
floor mats and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
yeah.
I went to the Funkmaster Flex Celebrity Car Show once,
Oh,
and I
man.
saw the entire interior floor of a Forerunner. This is why I'm thinking of it. Marble. Marble.
real?
Yeah.
Like heavy.
Like
real
rock?
marble in the Forerunner. And the paint on the exterior of the car, this was 2004. The paint on the exterior of the car was not paint. It was $100 bills shellacked.
Oh my God.
Real bills shellacked
Why?
the whole
Lacquered.
exterior. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Which shade?
Because that was how you flashed cash in 04. Today, that same guy would just
boy.
buy a Veyron. Right. There's more options for him now.
Oh my God. That's
And
crazy.
you, come on,
Oh
you
my-
know it's a him.
yeah,
I hate to
I know it
assume,
has
but
to.
No.
that is not a female's truck.
No woman would do that.
No. Women would be like, marble?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Corian.
Woman would- that's right. That's yeah. No.
That's awesome.
crazy.
So who's favored here in this competition?
Well, here's the thing.
First talk about what they're driving this year because there's
Didn't you say Gladiator?
no.
The Gladiator
Oh.
we just took out.
Oh, that was just your
That
practice
was just our
whip?
practice
Yeah.
Oh,
vehicle.
what are you driving? I assumed.
We're driving the Rivian R1T.
The fuck out of here.
no.
Nope.
Come. All right, explain that.
So that's an electric truck.
Yeah.
And
Well, no, yeah. Explain
and-
the other part.
the like how it's going to charge.
Yes.
She's gonna drive it for one day
Right,
and then they're
it's
gonna
just gonna
watch.
go-
No.
No, so the rally is partnered with a company called Power Innovations that they have had many military contracts with providing power out in the middle of nowhere. So they have invested a shit ton of money, and basically we're going to have a giant semi.
That's hysterical. A
And-
giant diesel-powered fucking generator.
No, it's not diesel powered
It's not?
because
What is it?
Rivian is very adamant that they don't want diesel powered
Yeah.
generators. So
Because they want people like me
there's
pointing that out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's going to be, as far as I know, hydrogen tanks on the back of this semi,
shit.
and then
really?
that will power a storage battery,
Yeah.
and then we will power off of that.
And it'll also make water as a side effect.
Yes, and all of our base
Will it
camp.
make drinkable water?
I don't know.
Do you know if that's
Shower-
potable?
shower
water.
How interesting if
Showers.
you had shower or potable water as a side effect from that. I wonder if you could collect it.
They're going to use the whole base camp is going to be carbon free, so it's all going to be solar powered or powered off of the Power Innovation stuff. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'm really
Solar's
excited
great,
to
but
see.
you ain't charging a fucking truck
No.
on solar
No,
out
you're
there.
not.
Get the fuck
I
out.
know.
Not overnight.
Somebody-
Certainly not overnight.
Somebody was like, "Why don't you just have a solar roof?" I'm like, "Because that gets you 1 mile throughout
yeah,
the whole day.
yeah,
like
it's
it's not very
ridiculous.
efficient."
Yeah, no math.
No, so
a hydrogen truck.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will have designated
interesting.
fuel places where if we have to fuel on the course. The rally has designed the course so that the Rivian can do it. We have the 135 kilowatt hour battery, which in theory is 300 miles, but that obviously is in like ideal situation.
Yeah.
Right.
And that is not what
Well,
we're
it-
going to get on the dirt or in the dunes.
Yeah. That's interesting. Like, is the EV more efficient at light throttle, lower speed application like off-roading than it would be on the highway or
Right.
in whatever the EPA cycle is or whatever? Well, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
And I don't know the answer to any of those questions.
Yeah, but if you run out of juice, boy, are you hosed.
Well, here's
You're
the thing.
fucking bricked.
Here's the thing. We have learned how to tow charge it.
Like literally like regen braking, tow charge it.
Oh, is this why you want
So you could-
why you want us to have a winch?
No, I want you to have a winch for when it gets stuck in Glamis.
No, yeah, but like what's the ratio of tow charging?
It's actually pretty good. We tow charged it at Glamis on Gecko Road, which is you can't do it. Unfortunately, you do have to have at least a gravel road because we tried to do it in the dirt and it was sketchy as fuck. Oh my god! But we tow charged on Gecko Road, which is just like a paved road that goes into the dunes, and I think on like a 6 kilometer little loop, we could get like 10% of a charge, 10% of your battery.
Wait. Okay. So you towed this thing for 3.6
No,
kilometers?
6 kilometers. It was 3
6
up
kilometers.
and 3 back. So and
And
we got
you netted out 10 kilometers in battery?
10% of our charge.
Which is
How does that
probably
math
more
work?
than
Are you
10
just
kilometers.
like riding the brake pedal?
We were in reverse.
Whoa! Oh,
No,
the lead was buried. Okay, hold
This
up.
is like
so,
Top Gun. It's like we were
okay, wait.
inverted.
So you're
Very
being
weird.
towed forward,
Right. So the lead the truck that is towing us,
Right.
they're responsible for just acceleration. Then we are behind them. We are facing in the same direction. But our gear, which is not really a gear,
Is
but
reverse.
we're in reverse. So he goes, this tow goes, we are following, and then I am on the throttle
In reverse.
In reverse, which is the engineer explained it to me.
Oh
First
my
he was like,
God.
well, it's the coefficient of, I'm like, shut up.
I've never heard anything like this.
Beyond that,
me-
it sounds like cheating because you're not under your own power.
This sounds like a perpetual motion machine
it is
of
so
some
Yeah,
kind.
yeah,
weird.
for sure.
It's so weird. So when
So
you're
you're on the throttle.
in reverse, which is slowing this dude down, right? So like there was to turn around, there was like a 90 right.
You need such a willing
my-
participant for this.
Dude, I know. And
What an
my
energy burn, too.
That's crazy.
the engineer was like, okay, slow down. So I'm like, slow down. I'm going to lift off the throttle. He's like, no, bury your foot. I'm like, oh my God.
Shit, slow down.
Yeah, because if you want to slow down when you're doing this, you actually have to sink
Harder
your
in
foot.
reverse.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Wow.
And we
whiz.
have a little like aftermarket, a little computer screen that's giving us our battery temp and all that stuff. And you can just see the regen, 200 volts of regen, 300 volts of regen. It's
Oh, wow.
nuts.
So you can really generate a lot of
lot.
energy with regen if you do this funky
lot.
shit with the car.
A lot.
Did the car need to be hacked in order to do that?
No.
That's just a thing you
That's
can do.
just a thing. So I'm like, I'm totally going to
whiz.
open up a business and
I
just
wonder
go
if
around
that
and
works
tow
like on
Teslas.
a. You think that
Yeah.
works like on a Tesla or
I
another
think
car?
so.
Wow.
If it can be flat towed. I mean, I know some of them don't have a neutral or whatever.
So how much? It's obviously you said it generates a lot of energy regenning. Does it also generate a lot of braking force? Like if you bury your foot on the throttle in reverse while being flat towed, is that the same?
Stopped, yes.
It's it's the same as standing on the brakes, basically.
Yes. And I was able to
This is
stop. We were
fucking
doing
crazy.
I don't even understand.
This is fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, it
we were
doesn't
doing,
make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't
No.
make
It
sense.
seems
And
like
it's-
every wire would be overheated. It seems
right.
like the
Yeah.
batteries would
Just like
explode.
smoke
Yeah,
coming
you're
out
doing
from
it all wrong.
And as someone that has been on the end of a tow strap broken, all I want to do is just drag the brakes, right?
Right,
To keep that
right.
tension. But in this, it's the total opposite. You're like, this is just so weird. And you just have to get it out of your mind and put that in there. So we were being towed by a dually. We had a giant dually.
Guy's rolling coal. And you're like,
imagine?
I just need to charge. I
Yeah.
just need to charge this EV so I can cleanly get to where I need to go.
Black smoke.
But it's not.
Every 80s movie ever.
You're doing a tug of war with a dually and just roll.
Oh, the
Black
environment.
stacks.
Yes.
Stacks and stacks.
And you know there's some fucking, you just know there's just some redneck with a fucking video camera
Right?
of you doing this and going, see, America! See? Fucking dead ass fucking green fucking truck. You need some America fucking, they won't know Rivian's an American company.
No,
you need
no.
some fucking American
It
tow.
was a Dodge, too, by the way.
Right.
It was a Dodge.
Oh my gosh.
No, I mean, that's what I was confused too. I'm like, you realize we're not going to have any dualies on this rally. I mean, the thing is, participants can help each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if someone was there that was not in the hunt for the lead and was willing to go to a paved road with us and tow charge us.
Oh my God, there's a lot of ifs
Yeah,
in there.
there's a lot. That's what this is.
That's
It's
a
not going to
lot of
happen.
ifs.
But I'm like, it's probably going to be like a Jeep Wrangler, and those things only have a tow rating of 3,500 pounds, and we weigh 7,100 pounds. I'm like, I don't understand.
7,100.
Yes. I'm like, I don't understand how this works. And the engineer's like, well, you're just towing the rolling resistance. I'm like, I don't get it. But okay. I don't understand.
Wow, that's crazy.
But I mean, it's enough to we were able to stop that dually we were doing 35 miles an hour. I was able to slow him down to a complete stop just by using my
Your regen.
reverse.
And that doesn't
Wow.
cause any damage to the powertrain?
Nope.
Wow.
He said
That's
the
fucking
engineer
crazy.
just said that the electrons fight.
That's nuts.
they fight.
There's
And
fighting.
then they
All right,
charge
explain
the
to me how
battery.
this works. So, there's this epic battle with electrons. That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing. Well, and
Have you driven the truck yet?
Yeah. We
Is it
drove-
cool?
I can't give any driving impressions yet, but I can tell you that we went to Glamis and it made it up Oldsmobile Hill.
I don't
Which
know what
is
that means.
it is a hill that
This isn't your father's hill.
it is a hill that we had a Chase Raptor with us. The Raptor didn't make it up, but
Oh.
he could have if he'd
Is there
done
an
it
appropriate
differently.
wheel and tire fitment for the Rivian, or do you have to run 21-inch
No, the
wheels?
Rivian has Pirelli Scorpions.
Oh, okay.
It's on 21s for the brakes, but it actually has a good amount of sidewall. And the tread isn't bad. I'm not sure about the sidewall strength on the Scorpions because I'm always like, just get the KO2s, they're the best. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what
right.
happens. And we were
Are you
aired down.
driving how close to a production vehicle are you driving?
It's the first production vehicle off their line.
It is. It's like
Yeah.
literally VIN 1.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Gee whiz.
Yes, but it is still like pre-production. Production. You know?
It's probably the first 50 or so are going to be pre-production. Yeah.
So like, there's no key to it. Like, I have to actually push like a big power button and then flip 2 toggle switches to turn it on.
okay.
It's one of those.
Yeah,
like
it's a prototype.
Some of the A-pillar like material, like Rebecca just touched it and it like fell off. Stuff like that.
Is there an incident button?
No, but we do have a little recorder where if something weird happens, like in the powertrain, we can press this button and say, "Hey, so this is what just happened," and it'll timestamp it, and then the engineers can go back
That's
later.
exactly what I was
Yeah,
describing.
bug reporting.
Yeah. There is a bug
but
reporting.
you actually speak into it.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
no, there's other ones that have where it just if it wasn't you driving it, if it was a manufacturer person driving it, they would just hit the button and it would store it in the
Mark where it is.
computer and
Yeah.
just mark it for later.
I want that
Yeah.
to be a thing because honestly, like, I'm never going to press a button and talk into it because there's so much other things going on. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not.
You
I'm
will
here
if the
to-
car has a major fuck up. I
I'm
guarantee
here to drive
you.
your vehicle. Like, yes.
That black box recording is going to be really interesting.
Well, we also said we're just going
It's
to
gonna be like, listen, this thing is fucked. No, it'll be fine. I'm sure.
Well, here's the thing. Like, we don't really know what the range is going to be on all these different terrains. Like, I mean, I kind of know, but I don't really know because I haven't done it.
Did you drive a full charge worth when you tested it? At least
We drove about 40% of a charge.
did the math work out? That wasn't
But also,
confident.
that was also 3 tries trying to get up Oldsmobile Hill, and that
Okay.
was like a lot of full throttle stuff. And like we did, we did a burnout in the sand, which I didn't know was possible. But it was
4-wheel?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think
nice.
so. It was pretty dope. It was pretty dope.
4-wheel burnouts are very good.
Right, but in the sand was even better.
Big rooster tails.
Well, no, I'm talking like we were going up the hill, and we were trying so hard. And we're like, we're gonna make it, and I was floored, and I'm like, oh fuck, we're not gonna do it. So I turned down, and as we turned down, we just saw all of this white smoke, and we're like. And I'm like, well, there's no motor. What could be smoking? And I'm like, it has to be the tires.
Oh, you actually got tire smoke?
Smoke on the sand.
Oh.
Yeah.
From
That's
the
interesting.
heat or the friction?
From the friction, because there's, how much,
turns-
800 and
yeah.
some odd
There's now
billion
glass.
pounds of torque.
There's now glass bits.
Yeah,
in that, like,
you weren't
area.
kidding about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then, and that was just because there was so much torque and it wasn't getting any traction. So what we did is we went down, we took a little bit of air out of the tires, and then it got
And it
up.
went.
Yeah, it got up.
That's
so
awesome.
it was, and they were super excited. They were like, "Oh my god, I went up
I was going to ask how long before there was an EV off-road vehicle. Okay, that
Yeah.
solves that. Now.
Yeah.
Now is when.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. I
Yeah,
mean,
but we have already decided like we might have to call mechanics at some point in this rally, which would give us a fairly big penalty, which would take us out of the running. So, our goal is,
but
We
first
just-
one through the door.
yeah, we just don't know what's going to happen. So our goal is to have fun, do our best, and tell a good story. And that's all.
And
Yeah.
our goal is really to, whenever they're not looking, go turn on all of their accessories, lights.
You're
like, what
not
else
going
you
to need to
have?
do that where you can't like run the AC in the desert and stuff like that.
Well,
are
I
you?
mean, the AC takes stuff away, takes range
Yeah.
away.
Can't drive in reverse the whole time.
Yeah.
No.
You should be
By the way, I was
calculating these
totally
things.
kidding about that.
No, she's not.
No, she's not. She's definitely not kidding. That's really cool, man.
Yeah, it's gonna
I
be
like that a lot.
it's gonna be interesting, and we're the first. I was the first person outside of Rivian to drive it, which was like really cool. And again, it was the same thing with the rules. Like I just asked them. You know?
Asking is good.
Asking is
Yeah.
good. So many people, like somebody today on Facebook was like, we really wanted to drive the Defender, but we didn't know anybody at Land Rover. And I'm like, well, did you ask? Like, just ask.
Yeah, if you have a good
I did
story idea,
ask-
asking for the
I did
car
ask
is not
them.
that
Yeah.
hard. Asking for a car if you don't have something cool to do with it is much harder.
Right. But this is something cool,
Yeah, if you've
But
already
but
got the
also-
cool idea,
But
asking for the
also,
car is pretty
like
easy.
it tests. The thing is I don't know why more OEMs don't do this because it really tests those vehicles, those stock vehicles, and like it's just a perfect environment to test your shit. I mean, what else do you need? It's there. Yeah, there are a lot of teams actually that will send like R&D people,
Yeah.
will send engineers
Ford
out
is.
there.
Makes
Ford
sense.
is like Honda
did.
Honda did. They're not this year because of the COVID, but yeah. I mean, it's
Is there a version that men can participate in
No.
too?
Well, no, there is sort of. There,
I imagine this event is based on other events that have happened or continue to happen.
Well, so in Morocco,
I'm not
there's
trying
something.
to be that guy.
No. In Morocco, there's something called the Gazelle Rally, which is similar in that it's a navigational rally with no GPS, but that is all about shortest distance between checkpoints. So it's all about driving in as straight a line as possible.
Right.
And that was something that
I think I thought Rebelle Rally was exactly the same as
right.
that.
It's kind of sort of based on that because Emily, who is the founder of the Rebelle Rally, had done the Gazelle. I've done the Gazelle a couple of times. So it has elements of that, but it's not the same thing. But there is a Gazelle and Men Rally where you can have all men teams or men and women teams.
Yeah.
Or all ladies teams. So that,
I'm not trying to be like, I need a
you have to
man's
go-
version of this.
but-
I'm
No,
like, how do I do? This sounds
know.
fun. I want to do it.
But
How do I
have
go?
to go to Morocco, and I think it's like $25,000 for that.
Yeah. That sounds.
So, but there's nothing in the U.S. that's like
unfortunate.
this that's for dudes.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Yeah. I know.
I've had a
well.
lot of dude friends who would be like, "How about if I just dress up like a lady?" And I'm like,
I think that's not
you'd
the
make
point.
a super ugly lady."
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, pretty much would be
Right.
that. Yeah.
Well, that yes.
Jay,
yeah.
did I see a couple things from the people?
Indeed.
Anything?
Oh,
Just a
there's
bunch
people.
just a bunch of
Just
thank
random
yous,
comments.
Studio looking good.
Oh, they're just talking about the
Ryuka Chu
studio.
says, if you could electrify anything with 4 wheels for off road, what would you? I think that was before Emme said that she was driving a Rivian.
yeah.
But
Honestly, you
Anything
know
else?
what would be dope is, and Nicola has one, but God only knows what's going on with Nicola
they
now.
pushed it down a hill.
Yeah. Oh, did they push not the Badger, but they had a little
The
UTV.
semi-truck.
No,
Oh, I don't
they
know
had a
about
little
that.
UTV. Like a little electric UTV would be dope. It's super lightweight. Like
Yeah.
you wouldn't. I mean, so adding all the batteries is not going to like kill it, and
Yeah.
having all that extra torque, like that'd be awesome. I would also love to see. An electrified, probably not full electric because you don't have the range, but an electrified Ultra 4 car.
What defines like a buggy,
Like one
like
of
a
those
cycle?
Like
Can-Am.
for King of the Hammers.
One of those
Oh,
Can-Am
yeah.
cars.
An Ultra 4, but like an Ultra 4 King of the Hammers, like unlimited for King of the Hammers that's electrified because with that electric platform you get all of that
the
torque.
torque
that's so
would be
instant,
amazing. Yeah.
You know, and then you could just like if it still had all of the suspension and everything like a regular Ultra 4 car has, but it has just a little bit of an electrified platform that could get it up, you know, Chocolate Thunder and Backdoor and all those
As
places,
long
but
as
still
it-
has gas for the open desert part.
Yeah, as long as
Oh,
it's
a
not
hybrid
too heavy.
powertrain.
Yeah,
Train.
hybrid powertrain. Yeah, electrified.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't see
Electrified.
I didn't distinguish. I'm sorry.
Fied.
There was this move that went along with it. Come on.
I drove this Porsche thing. There's a company called Vonnen that has a electric motor that replaces the flywheel of the car.
Okay.
And it's got a battery pack in the front of the car, and it's just 75 horsepower, just like that.
Perfect.
Totally seamless, 75 horsepower addition
Yeah.
to, and it acts like a torque filler. It's really, really, really neat stuff.
Yeah, that'd be rad. I would
Yeah.
love
That-
an electric Miata.
Zach
would
drove
like-
an electric sandrail, the sandrail
yeah?
with Tesla motor, and it said it was batshit.
Yeah.
He said it was real crazy.
Just be like this. Oh, we're gonna
Yeah, he said it
die."
did wheelies at 90.
Sure.
Which
I
yeah.
believe it.
Yeah.
I totally believe it.
That's cool. Is it rebellerally.com? What's the website
Yes.
if people want to follow along?
Yes.
It's REBELLE.
Correct.
Because
That's
it's
correct.
for women.
It's for Belle.
WOMYN.
Yes.
It's for women.
Women's.
Women's.
Women.
No, it's cool, man. I think you find the more interesting trucks every time.
Because we like
which
to
is
do
good.
it stupid. Like we
That's
just
good.
like to do
Stupid
it
is good.
You know, and I keep thinking like, man, you know what we should do? We should do it in the Baja Bug and run it and run 2-wheel drive and the 4-wheel drive section. And God, I don't know what would happen during the dunes, but who
Rebelle
cares?
Rally.
There we go.
RebelleRally.com.
Thank you.
Yeah,
He
got
found
it.
some clothing brand. It didn't
Yeah,
do
right.
well.
Not it.
Not it.
R.A.
Rebelle Rally. There you go.
What would be like the dumbest? I mean,
The dumbest thing to
The
do.
dumbest
it?
thing besides
My
an electric
Porsche?
truck?
I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Safari
Listen,
911?
I've definitely
Yeah.
rolled out the how about a Safari. I mean, we were still talking to Nissan, and I was like, "How about a Safari GTR?"
Yeah.
And they were just like,
I don't
"If you
think
bring
they're
us,
about
oh
that.
no, listen," they said, "If you bring us the car, we'll totally do it."
Oh, so
If
you have
you
to provide.
found
I
the
had to give them the
GTR?
car, and I'm like, "Oh,"
And they
that'd
would
be
Safari
great.
so
it
they
for
would
you?
Safari your
for me.
GTR for you for free?
Let's go get a GTR.
Let's get a
dude.
GTR. That sounds awesome.
That's what I said.
Factory.
That sounds great.
That's
a
what I
factory
said.
modified GTR
Yes.
Safari. That sounds
Yes.
amazing. Yes, get that. That sounds
know.
awesome.
I thought
But-
that would be fun and
It
super
would be
stupid.
fun. I mean, I have a lifted Miata, and I looked at it, and I was like, man, we should do it in this. That would be so much fun. But you have to take so much gear. You got to take
Yeah.
all your
There's all
camping
the
gear
stuff.
and your parts and stuff. And so, like, doing it in a tiny little car like that, it would be really hard.
How's the lifted Miata to drive?
is the best thing I've ever bought.
It's awesome.
I
You bought it
love-
like that?
I bought it with a lift, and so far I just bought like all new suspension for it.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I'm
You
so
should go.
dumb.
You should go onto her
so dumb.
Instagram
Is it on,
and see
is it on
the
your
pic-
Instagram?
Yeah,
I'd like to
it's
see
a lot
that.
is
There's
on my
all
Instagram.
kinds of pictures of it on
I
the
would like to
grams.
see the Emme Hall
Yeah,
lifted
yeah.
Miata.
Scroll.
Oh,
There it
that's
is.
awesome.
Right there.
There it is.
Oh, it's got its double spare tire rack on
yeah,
the back.
totally unnecessary.
That's fucking kick ass,
it's
man.
pretty dope. I love it.
Oh
I love
yeah,
it so much.
that's fabulous. Does it like?
and it's all stock.
it looks
stock
like it
motor.
goes anywhere, right?
Yeah, so far it has.
That's
Haven't been
awesome.
stuck yet. So,
What did that cost to get into? Like nothing?
No, not that much.
That rules. Oh,
That
great.
rules.
Yeah.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks
So-
fabulous.
So right now,
Does the spare tires give you extra nice weight on the rear
Yeah.
axle for
Yeah.
off-roading?
Yeah,
That's
it's
fantastic.
pretty cool. And it's a limited slip, which is awesome. But that skid plate, it actually is. First of all, the tube bend is like really dumb, and it leaves at least an inch of ground clearance. So we're rebending that, and then putting a one-piece skid plate instead of a two-piece skid plate, so that will just be stronger. And then doing more skid plating across the bottom, so it's going to get more underbody protection because I've had it out like 3 or 4 times in the desert, and then obviously here in Mexico, and like I have beat the underside to shit already,
Yeah.
and I haven't even really done anything hard.
Dude, that looks so
Yeah.
fun.
It
Also,
is.
Yeah.
the hood is a chalkboard, so
Yeah.
you can write
Oh, cool.
different
Oh.
yeah,
stuff
so you can draw on the chalkboard.
Oh, that's probably actually very practical.
Yeah, I like it. That way, like whatever trip we're going on, like I can decorate the hood for.
Yeah, dude, this Miata rules.
It's really fun.
Yeah, you have good taste.
So,
very
thanks.
nice.
So I have the Mazda Speed Miata for pavement
you drove
stuff,
here today.
Which I drove
That's
here
very
today.
nice.
And then that, and then whatever press car we have, and then the desert race car.
You're
So-
full up.
Yeah, well, so is she. You have.
I have a short wheelbase first gen Montero. I have a '66 Datsun Roadster that I
Which you drove
that
today.
I
It's
drove
lovely.
Today. Thank
Yes,
you. I
very
actually
nice.
just put a 5-speed transmission in it.
Nice.
So now I'm able to drive on the freeway and not like be terrified that other people are. That thing hauled ass, man. I was driving here. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna be late. I was like, oh, this is doing like 80. I'm like,
All
this
right.
is so impressive.
Is it like a 1600 or something?
Yeah, 1600.
Nice.
And then I have a Jetta wagon that that's my daily.
And the Suzuki.
And the Suzuki's going to go out into Moab.
The
and so
crown jewel of the
crown
collection.
jewel of the collection. That's
Suzuki
right.
XL7.
That's right.
Monty is great, though. I love
So
Monty.
I could like fill up a whole
You want a quad?
row.
I make good price for you, my
I
friend.
could fill up a whole row of your fine establishment. Yeah.
I had mine on all lifted on all raised on one quad.
Yeah?
It was very cool. Yeah, the van up on top and Safari.
Is it cool just to see all of your cars like in one space?
Fuck yeah, it's awesome. Stacked up like that, because when they were in that
amazing.
stack, you could see it from my office chair, so I could spin around like a Bond villain and go ah.
Isn't
This
that
is
great?
was
like
though?
really
this
cool.
does kind of have that Bond villain lair type vibe.
Are there sharks
to
with
it.
laser beams
This
on
is
their
intentional.
freaking heads?
Frickin' laser beam.
There
Frickin'
should be.
There's motion sensors with freaking laser beams all
I'm
over
ready
this bitch.
for
yeah.
this just
Unless
to
you're
drop
prepared to
out.
do like entrapment shit to get in here, like Catherine Zeta-Jones,
Oh.
where
Oh,
she
you want me to get my butt up
some
like that?
Cirque du Soleil. Yeah, you have to put on like rubber outfits and high heels, but be armed, and also do some Cirque du Soleil
I'm thinking
into
the
here.
kimono is not going to
No,
do well
probably not.
in that.
No, but it
regard.
matches your Datsun perfectly. Thank you guys for coming down. It's a
Oh,
great
man, this
show
was
on a
fun.
Sunday.
Thank you.
Rad.
Love it.
No, I'm very excited.
Thanks for
I
having
love
us.
it.
I do have a 5-hour drive. I'm driving back up to LA or to San Francisco tonight.
What, right now?
Right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
Wow.
You're nuts.
Well, how is that nuts? It's
I
just
don't know.
5 hours.
I don't know.
That's
I don't
fine.
know why. It's just it's a long day. Because I've had a long day. I assume
Dude, I
you
didn't
have
get up
too.
till noon.
Oh, you haven't had a
Oh,
long day.
yeah.
Your day has started.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's Sunday,
No,
man.
I'm an early bird. I guess I put that onto everybody else, and they're not. Not
No.
everybody else
No,
is.
that is the worst. Art does not begin before noon, man.
Well, drive safe, both on the rides
you.
home from the show
Thank
today
you.
and
Thanks for
on
having
the
us.
Rebelle
Thanks for,
Rally.
Yeah, this was awesome. As
I
always.
smoking tire cherry.
I'm sorry it was your first time. I think because we talked about the roles last time when Lyn was
Right,
here
yeah.
before. I think I felt like I was one with your
Well,
story.
and I don't know if you actually remember this, but when I first started reviewing cars, I worked for a company called Roadfly.
Oh yeah, Roadfly, right?
Roadfly. And so sometimes this was when I lived on the East Coast. So sometimes in my PTCs, in my piece of cameras, I would talk about you, and I would say something like, I don't know. I would just like make some kind of joke about how like, yeah, like this car is so cool and like maybe Matt Farrow will want to meet me and be my boyfriend. I totally did.
Really?
Yes, I remember that.
Oh.
I know.
A woman liked me.
This is like one of those
it's
episodes.
all men.
This is like one of those
All
episodes
men.
of Jimmy Fallon where there's like Nicole Kidman's on the couch and she's like, "I really wanted to date you and you just ignored me." Or whatever. And he's like, "What? Like I missed out on that? Like how stupid am I?" So yeah.
We could have been doing the rally with there was the woman and the men one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In,
You and
prototype
Hannah should do
Rivian.
it. You and Hannah should do it.
You know, I really do want to get Hannah into a little bit of off-roading. I haven't really gotten
Does she want
out.
to?
She said she would. I told her, you know, there's the California backcountry discovery route, the SoCal one
Oh,
is
yeah.
done. And I really want to get either a Defender or a Bronco, something modern and easy,
Yeah.
and do it with her. It's on the list of trips.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
I don't think either of us, if it was just the two of us, the navigation would not be done. I'm pretty good because like I do boats, and so I can do charting on boats.
Yeah.
But like, it's a little different.
Yeah.
It's a little different on the land.
Yeah.
And I would and I don't like not knowing where I am. Like that is my
Yeah.
thing. I would learn that. So like I would need to be with someone like
Yeah.
you're like you guys seem to have who is supremely confident in where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing about Hannah driving is, I mean, I think those are awesome vehicles, and just driving, like starting out on like just like awesome, fun dirt roads that are just like, oh yeah, you kind of get the feeling for it, and like she's gonna love it.
The backcountry discovery routes are mostly fire roads.
Yeah.
There's not any. You're not moving rocks. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just drive
Yeah.
in a modern
'Cause
vehicle.
that-
You can just drive over
I
that
think
stuff.
for some people who are new to it, like that can get tedious. It's really slow, and you
Yeah.
can just be
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, I can't see
Yeah.
anything," and what are you waving at me for? But like just on dirt roads, like Baja, style, just,
Yeah.
that's just so
I want
much
to take Buddy
fun.
on the what is it, the backcountry drive,
Backcountry discovery routes.
Backcountry discovery
So
route.
they're
Okay.
they're written by the Butler motorcycle maps like people.
Okay.
And so there's a bunch of different ones, and it's basically like routes for mainly designed for adventure touring motorcycles, but there's
Big
also
enough for
one.
cars
Yeah,
to do it.
totally
Yeah,
big enough
yeah.
for cars.
Yeah.
There's sections that are marked that it's like motorcycle only, but car goes this way.
Oh, okay, cool.
And you can get the paper map, and you can download the plot points to a iOS or Android device.
I'm so there.
So you just hit go on your fucking
Yeah.
phone. It's great. It's so great.
I'm so there, but I love that kind of stuff.
And you don't have to think about the navigation, which is
Yeah.
to me is great because I'm on the line.
Well,
like,
trust me,
awesome.
it's a lot faster when you're not worrying about the navigation.
Yeah, I bet. So anyway, we've done the Washington one and the Utah one, and so I want to do the California one.
Yeah.
That's
The
awesome.
Washington one was amazing.
Really?
Amazing. You're driving up the top of huge mountains. It was so beautiful. It was amazing.
Sounds great.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank
Have
you.
safe,
Thanks for
safe
having us.
travels.
This was fun.
Follow Emme and Lyn along at follow along with them at rebellerally.com.
Yep.
And then
Yes.
just click on the live tab. I think I saw right
Yeah,
on
you
top
can
there.
go there.
Do you
and-
know what your number is?
Team 106.
And we are Team 140.
All right.
Yeah.
And also pull up the Instagrams there, Jay. They are on Instagram at
it's-
Lyn Lyn underscore.
2 underscores.
Oh, that's a double.
Who's the
Yo, that's
Lyn Woodward that
sneaky
has
as
one
fuck.
underscore?
She's the regular Lyn Woodward is a jerk.
Really?
Yeah, I've reached out, but it's no good.
Boo. And Emme Hall is MMM Motorsports.
Yes, MM Motorsports.
MM Motorsports.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there you can see her. That's her car, and that's
that's
the
the
truck.
Rivian right
that's
there.
The
Are they
Rivian right
leaving it
there.
camoed like that?
It may stay with that wrap. They said they were going to change it, but there's a lot of things that have to happen that
It might be more important
I
than the
would
wrap.
think might be a little bit more important. So
What is
we'll
that?
see.
Snakes?
Yeah, it's
Electric snakes.
I don't
It's
know.
what?
I don't know what
I
it
don't
is.
know.
I thought it was like when you opened up a can
Yeah,
of,
like confetti
of
or-
peanuts. And,
Oh, it's
and
a
it just
can of
goes-
worms?
I don't know.
The snakes that pop out of the.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Like a magic
originally.
trick.
Like the
I have
little,
not-
Yeah, the Jack in the Box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks better in person, but I'm not 100% sure what was going on there. But
What's
Listen,
that? What is the thing on your roof?
that was a GPS thing for them, so
Oh,
that
okay.
will not be there.
Oh,
we're
right.
actually our Max Tracks and our shovels are going to go on the roof.
I didn't know if that was the Rebelle Rally satellite thing.
No, they just it's just
It's
a little,
little
like,
handheld
yellow,
guy.
a yellow brick.
Got it. All right. Well, like I said, drive safe, have fun,
Thanks,
come
Matt.
back with great stories.
We will.
And I am going to Florida to shoot Sorted, the tuner car show I'm doing with Rob Ferretti, Amelia Hartford, and Tanner Faust. I hope I don't get coronavirus. I'm going to be very good at wearing my mask. I'm going to be the only I'm not going to be I'm going to be the only person wearing a mask inside of restaurants, I think, but you know what?
That's okay.
Are you going to have a little flap?
The little
zipper.
food.
Just
the
a zipper.
food.
I mean, all straws.
I have a mask with a zipper if you want.
Really?
Bring out the
Jesus.
gimp.
Hang on. I didn't
Weird.
get that on time.
Weird.
That's our show, everybody. The Smoking Tire Podcast is powered by Shout Engine. Get your own damn podcast at shoutengine.com. It's easy. All you need is a microphone and connection to the internet, and ideally, something to say. Bye, everyone.